I'm finna start it now. Man, I just want to let y'all know y'all really some hoes for not letting me have my pornographic camera on. So
Yeah, we don't want that.
yeah, y'all ain't shit.
What?
We don't want
Yeah.
that.
Ain't
No.
no way you're
I told you this
ain't no
was.
way you're
Yo,
saying this on air.
what's
It
going
is.
on, man? Hey,
Ain't
hey,
no
happy
way we're saying
Sunday.
this on
Welcome
air.
to the new 2023
Ain't
24 season
no way
episode.
you're
This
saying this on
episode
air.
6. Stop talking, Zito.
Stop. Yeah,
I'm
please.
sick.
He
And
started it right
what's
then
going
too.
on, man? As you can notice, man, we don't have somebody to carry us, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have no J Rob or anything like that. It's just the trio, the dynamic trio. Zeno, he's getting carried, but everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Rod, we do.
Hey, it's your
We
boy.
do,
Hey,
we do, man. We do. And Rod, how you doing, man?
man. I'm feeling some type of way right now about basketball, but we're gonna get to that. I guarantee we're
We're
gonna
gonna
get to
get
that.
to that. We're gonna get to that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Zeno, how you feeling today, man?
Oh, you care? Nice. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
No, we really don't, but we'll bite. We'll bite.
Oh wow,
What's up?
Wild.
How you feeling, man?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. And then if any of you guys know, and if any of you guys have been paying attention, uh, I'm totally in the honeymoon phase right now. So
Yes, he
I'm doing
is.
a lot of loving and caring for my woman. So salute to my baby if you're watching. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. All right.
What
We're
is
gonna
good?
start off talking about the hottest topic right now: the Los Angeles Lakers in the
Frost.
in-season tournament championship. They ended up beating the Indiana Pacers, going away. Actually, it really even a 14-point loss is it truly does not justify how really one-sided this matchup was. I
Shouldn't been.
I I would like to point to the personal files if there is any doubt as to the calls that were given to the Los Angeles Lakers, because I understand the Indiana Pacers are not a good defensive unit,
They are.
but this is like unbelievable how much the referees had um really a judgment over how who won this game and how much they won this game by. For the Indiana Pacers to get 33 fouls called on them, and to be quite honest, to be quite honest with you, I'd say about half of those were legitimate. Versus the Los Angeles Lakers, who only had 25 fouls, which is more average for them. Not to mention Austin Reeves going to the free throw line 12 times, Anthony Davis going to the free throw line 13 times.
No, the
This is
Anthony Davis ones were fine. I was watching those and like a lot of them was just that when Miles Turner got into foul trouble, they just really couldn't keep him off the boards. They just couldn't get people off the board, so they were just fouling him.
I get that.
But still,
I get that. But there were a couple possessions specifically for, let's say, Bruce Brown.
Mm-hmm.
The two fouls he had, like they were like he didn't even fully get his hand in the cookie jar and they call him foul on him.
So I'm hearing
Not
is
to mention
he's getting that Joel Embiid type calls.
that game he was. That game he was. And then Austin Reeves his free throw discrepancy, it was just absurd. Um, because like say what you want about Austin Reeves, like positive and negative. The one thing I cannot take away from him is his ability to foul bait, but I could have sworn the rules that they set in place this past season was supposed to,
Combat that.
yeah, it was supposed to combat that. So that's why I was really surprised. Out of all the games during the in-season tournament, it would be the championship game that the referees sort of like put the game in their hands. So Rod, how do you feel? How do you feel about what happened on Saturday night?
honestly, man, what has as hot as Indiana was to be this flat makes no sense to me. Do I don't want to go into speculation or come out with the this is scripted moment, but it feels a little scripted for me.
Mm.
For me,
You can
care
say
what
that,
everybody
son.
else say.
Oh yeah,
Care what
my fault.
everybody
Sorry.
else say, but for me, it felt a little scripted. Like, damn, this team is super hot. They are beating better teams than them convincingly. LA was not beating teams convincingly, except for the Pelicans. That's the only team I've seen them beat convincingly. And the Pelicans aren't a better team than them.
Yeah.
So it is very confusing for me to be like, well, basically we just added another thing to say, well, LeBron did this over MJ type of moment, which is what's going to come up like, well, they didn't have that. Regardless, he has a different championship that nobody else has, the first of its kind. I don't like that sound. I don't I don't like that topic. I don't want that to be brought into anything, but I know it is when we bring up the debate the greatest of all time. We won't be bringing that up because it is going to be too chaotic if we do it. But I know everybody else is going to be bringing that up. And well, LeBron is this and that. I mean, it's crazy. Now, from Anthony Davis, why you can't do this every night for me? That's confusing for me because we really just talked about this last show about was it last show or the show before last that he could get 5 points a quarter. And
You
what do we
said
see
that.
here?
You said that. You said that. You
Exactly.
said
But
that.
what do
I
we
didn't
see
say
here?
I,
But
yeah,
he's
but I
not.
didn't
He
say
hasn't been this guy. He hasn't been this guy all season. It's like a pick and choose moment. Oh, the stage is real bright right now. Come on, bruh. This is what hurts us from putting you in top 10 because of this. This is that you have this moment, but watch next week. Where he go? Where that dude go?
I just want to let the
Tell
record
me if I'm
show.
lying.
I just want to let the record show, chat. No, you're not lying because that's genuinely your truth. I'm with you in that sense. That's always been his thought process. So I don't blame him. But let the record show, chat. He's been in my top 10 for like a while.
I don't agree with what Rodney said.
Yeah, I don't agree with what Rodney said either, but
All right. Well, you
he's
don't have
consistent.
to.
He's always
I don't care.
consistent. He's consistently been this way. So
I'll go against the mode if nobody else wants to go against the mode. That's fine. I don't even care. Y'all don't want to go against the mode. Y'all want to run.
Think,
hey, we're gonna run with the show. Nah, fuck that. Let's be real.
I just think that AD's shot creation in itself it has always been inconsistent, and I think that his one of his greatest ability is being a play finisher. Consistently an idiot is crazy. Also, what's good, Desta? What's called? He's one of his best abilities is his ability to be a great play finisher because he's one of the best lob threats that we've seen. He's just really good at rolling to the rim. And he gets gravity off of like rolling to the rim. I just don't know why people honestly think that he can create his own shot consistently, like the Embiids, like the Jokic's. That's what's good, Desta? That's not his game. That's not who he has been.
You're right. It hasn't been who he's been consistently, but we have seen him do it by himself. And I'm gonna point out, and this is my asterisk. And Justin, you notice this is my asterisk. The bubble championship. That's who we saw.
Once again, that's an outlier.
The bubble was such an outlier.
Now you're gonna outlie it. Oh my god, I swear to God. Now y'all want to outlie it. After I say it was I've been said it was an asterisk well before, but now LeBron championship. Shut up. I hate y'all, man. I hate y'all.
You say the Lakers championship has an asterisk to it, which I disagree. I think that was that an argument can be made that was one of the tougher that's one of the tougher championships you could win because like there were no fans there. Truth be told, there was little reason to be motivated outside of wanting to win a championship that I think going in everybody knew was sort of going to have like that type of conversation about. So there was all the reasons for them really to pack it and go home, and yet they went in there and Anthony Davis played outside of himself. Like that, people need to understand. Anthony Davis does not play the way he was playing on a typical basis in that bubble. Like that was not him. Like him as far as like a complete package. He has never been that efficient from the mid range nor the 3-point line. Defensively, I think that was him.
The other thing that you guys you fail to realize as well, who was he playing? Like who was the defenses that he was playing during that run?
Outside of Bam, I think everybody else is pretty bad.
He was playing against like 6'8", 6'8", PJ Tucker. Nurkic, who's not a defensive center, and Jokic, who is a
did I say the bubble or the bubble championship alone?
You said the bubble.
I said bubble championship because I said the asterisk.
Oh yeah, and that's why I said outside of Bam. Outside of Bam, everybody else is sort of questionable.
And even then, I wouldn't even use Bam because Bam was compromised for 2 of those games and came back being injured. So even that's not really a great. But hey, use the bubble championship when he was playing against an injured Bam, I guess.
I think when it comes to Anthony Davis, a lot of people go off of drive more. They make the mistake of following, like similar to KD. Like sometimes you look at what he does or these outlier games where he showcases what we all recognize is usually his weakness. It becomes like a positive. And so you think, oh, he did that once, then he can do it all the time. That's not the case. Every once in a while, Anthony Davis can put forth these type of performances, 41 and 20, and be dominant in dominant fashion. But on a typical basis, Anthony Davis's like where he majority gets his respect as to being a top 10 caliber player is on a defensive end. Offensively, I think we all should understand by now he is an above average offensive player, but he is not like Giannis. Like that conversation should have went out the window a while ago. Anthony Davis, first of all, let's start with this. How about the fact that Anthony Davis had 5 assists? He was actually playmaking relatively well.
Yeah, like 6 turnovers there, but we move.
Say it again.
Yeah, like 6 turnovers, but carry on.
Oh well, the 6 turnovers. Like, are we really gonna hold that against him when he was having to like early on in the game? Like
4 turnovers. I'm wrong.
The Pacers was pushing the pace so much that Anthony Davis was getting lost a little bit. But once they finally started to slow it down with the foul calling and all that stuff, it sort of went back into LeBron and Anthony Davis's like home field where they like to play nice and slow and dissect the defense. That's when Anthony Davis started to cut it on. And that was an anomaly for his playmaking.
I feel like they had help to slow that game down.
With the referees.
That's help. That's help. Nah, yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like that, you're getting help to slow the game down. But the whole tournament, everybody's been playing physical up until that moment. Really?
I would like to point you to the Bucks versus Indiana game. I don't think that was that physical.
I mean, fair enough. But I do want to say that also.
By the way, AD didn't have 6 turnovers. He had 4 turnovers. You're thinking of
I said that.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, Sage, why I say that was an asterisk because half of Miami's team was out for COVID.
Yeah.
And instead of waiting, they decided to just play it. Putting Miami already at a disadvantage.
Yeah. Also, if I'm correct, I think damn near every team, except for the Lakers. Well, no, even the Lakers, because Avery Bradley missed the bubble due to
Avery Bradley won. Every team.
Yeah, every team went on without went into the bubble without like a key contributor to their roster.
Because but Miami went into the championship without a bunch of people.
That was due to injuries, though, because that was due to injuries.
No, they had an injury in the bubble. But then once game time happened, there was a bunch of things. Oh, a lot of these dudes had COVID,
Mm.
unless they came back and changed it afterwards.
I will check. I'll check for you. I'll check for you because I don't think that that's crazy to say, but yeah. But yeah, long story short, Desto is like going crazy in the chat right now because I think Rod is starting.
Okay, that's so.
Yeah, Rod is
If you
starting.
you wanna play with everybody else, that's cool, my boy. Do your thing. You stay that little rabbit.
You stay that little rabbit is crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Zeno, when it comes to Anthony Davis, the consistency of Anthony Davis. What is your opinion on that?
Well, Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Inconsistently as an offensive player. I think that's the only thing consistent about him is his inconsistency. But I think that's just due to the fact that he's a play finisher and he doesn't necessarily create his shot to like a great level so that he can consistently score XYZ points. Also, a lot of players that you think are actually they have stretches where they are inconsistent. Yes, we are aware that Anthony Davis has more inconsistencies in his scoring, but that's because he kind of plays off his guards or when he gets fed the ball from LeBron. So that's why he actually ends up. Don't make me cook. He's crazy. Anyways, that's why he ends
I
up.
want to see if he gonna cook him.
Go ahead.
That's why he ends up being like this. That's literally the whole point. Is that he's playing off the guards and LeBron, and if he's not getting fed the ball or if he's not making shots, well, after being assisted, that's just it. Rather, like for example, Jokic can run that 2-man game that can create an advantage for him, or he can create an advantage from the post in the mid range. He can get to the rim as well, even though he is slow. There's many ways he can create an advantage. Embiid can create an advantage just by being in the post. Also in the mid range, he can even create an advantage on the perimeter as well. Like that's the reason why those two players are like one of the better scorers in the league. But AD doesn't have the Embiid like footwork and also touch around the rim or post game, and he doesn't have Jokic's like really good touch around the rim, post game, playmaking. That's the other thing I need to remind myself. AD's also not that good of a playmaker, which also hurts his ability to score as well. So
Embiid also creates advantages just by being in the post, bitch ass nigga. Didn't you say that?
I literally said the funniest thing is I literally said that and he proceeds to say that. That's funny. Creates advantages by
Anthony Davis also creates advantages.
I meant like consistently for himself. That's what I said. If you was listening earlier, I'd said that AD wasn't able to do that on a consistent level. No, I didn't. I was in a conversation of talk about Embiid and Jokic, but okay.
Cool.
I mean, I think I get what Khalil's saying, like to the level of like the consistency within AD's game.
Yeah, that's the difference of AD right now, and that's why AD right now should be like in conversations to be like a top 5-ish player because one of his biggest issues, which was shot creation, he's able to really hit it consistently right now, which is why he's actually at that stage. Before, I'm talking about like in general, he used to not be able to do so, and that's why he wasn't at that tier. If you want to talk about now, yeah, of course, especially with that fraud in Denver going 18 for 56 on his last 2 games. Oh yes, definitely.
Who?
Wow. He's talking about Jokic.
I was hoping he not.
But he is. I knew he was.
Were we holding that against him?
Nikola Jokic going 18 for 56. Yes, I'm holding against him. I'm an Embiid fan.
Okay.
Sorry, 18 for 58. There you go.
Look, be my guest if you finna start looking into little.
Yep.
Be my guest, buddy. Be my guest, man.
That's what we're doing.
I don't know what to tell you. Still the best player in the world. Anyway,
nah.
I don't know. To me, when I look at AD,
yeah,
I feel like defensively is truly where he should get his respect. I think offensively,
Yes.
I
Everyone
think
does though.
no. What I'm saying is people are so hung up on the fact that he's not as consistent of a scorer, but that's never been him. Like
That's
for all
you're
But I
missing
thought
the
that
point.
was
Is
the I
that's
thought
the
that was the point
I
of
think
him,
Rodri.
LeBron saying,
no.
"This is your team."
I'm not
This
saying that you're wrong, Zeno. I'm not saying anything to refute what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying my
while
thought process when I'm
yeah,
looking at him is the fact
hmm
that, like, oftentimes people are looking into Anthony Davis as far as like his highs in shooting, specifically in 2020, and look at his highs in his shooting ability in the mid range and 3-point line, being a consistent
you're
shooter.
missing the point though. The reason why people bring him and hold him to that level is one because is on the Lakers, of course,
Mhm.
and two, a lot of people can see that if he adds on this little wrinkle onto his not little wrinkle onto this game, he can actually elevate himself to these top 5
But that's
conversations.
the thing. But okay,
That's what, and me and you both know that's not what he actually
yeah,
is.
that's not
And although
realistic.
this season he's been more consistent in that end when it comes to shot creation, but he used to, but he's not actually. How do I say this? Jesus Christ! So he's more consistent with that type of aspect. But me and you can understand that that might not just be him. Might not be him, but other people believe that's him, and that's why they hold him to that kind of level. And that's why you have people complain that he's having 15-point games because they treat him like it was be Giannis, or they treat him like they would be Embiid, or they treat him like he's been Jokic. That's why. Do I agree with it? Do I? But that's why they treat him like that, and makes sense, understandable.
So then let me ask you this. When he did that in 2020,
Mm-hmm,
after like that playoff run,
mm-hmm.
right? Did that did it did it dawn on you that that was an anomaly of a stretch, or did you actually believe that that's probably who he was?
In that season, specifically down the playoffs, I felt like it was an anomaly in that time because I remember I was a Rockets fan because James Harden fan. Of course, I've always been a Philly fan. I have this thing where I have one West, one East. Anyways, back to the conversation. I would always feel like when AD would get into like the mid post or just the post area, and he would turn and face up and he'd do his like 1 or 2 jab steps. At one point, I just said, "Okay, just make it, man. I already know you're gonna make that mid range," and it would just go in. So at a certain point, became so automatic that I just got annoyed by it. To be fair, though, the level of defenses that he's playing against weren't really equipped to deal with him. So am I surprised that he was that efficient? Yes. But would I be surprised that he's dominating those teams? No, not really.
Just not in that fashion.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Rod, same thing with you or no?
Yeah, I agree. When I see him do his thing, like you expect him to continuously do it, but sometimes he just doesn't, and it's really kind of difficult because we hold him to a high tier. I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, everything is great. We never had a problem with him on the defensive side of the ball, but his offense, I thought he could have flourished more in the mid range, back to the basket. I do hold him to a higher standard, like he said. I hold him to that because I think he is that good.
The moment I
But he just
realized that
has to.
Anthony Davis was not a good passer at all, that was the day I started being more realistic about who Anthony Davis can be. Anthony Davis is never. I just want to let Chad. There were some people, I won't say no names, that after the 2020 run, they thought that he was the best player in the world, if not the second best player in the world.
He wasn't
Nah,
contentious with that.
He was never in there with me.
At that time, and specifically in that
Even
season.
at that time, I did not think that he
Of
was better
course,
than. I didn't
I
think he was
thought
better.
LeBron. So
I didn't think he was better than LeBron. I thought LeBron was the best in the world. I did not think he was better than Steph. I didn't think he was better than Giannis.
yeah.
Now that fourth and
Well,
fifth spot,
mhm.
we could talk about it. I would
yeah.
still probably take 8. I would probably take Luca, and I'm open to the conversation with
Luca
Embiid.
in 2020. Damn.
Yeah, you
Was
never
Luka in
know.
this conversation that young? Let me see.
I think to
Oh, he
me,
was cooking
Luka,
initially.
to me after that 2021, because remember that 2020
1920.
yeah, that 1920 season.
I swear, there wasn't a consensus. I swear he was around like people saying he was just about to break into the top 10. Oh no, you're right. Oh shit, my fault, Desto. Yeah.
Yo, what's
Huh.
good, Luka?
I didn't know that.
So, fellas,
No, yeah, he was averaging 28, 9 and 8 that season, and he got the Dallas Mavericks to, I believe, the 7th seed. And they took the Clippers all the way. They took the Clippers all the way to 7. Thanks, like no thanks to like Kristaps, because I don't think Kristaps played. Like that was all on the back of Luka. And I was just I was so fascinated with Luka's game. I was like, yeah,
I just
yeah,
always thought it
Yeah,
was his third season.
Christoph got hurt. I don't know if it was like early on, but
mhm,
Christoph did get hurt that year, and
yeah.
it was Luca.
Yeah, it was Luka. And then on top of that, even if let's say Luka wasn't in the top 5 for you, James Harden was still
Yeah,
James Harden.
James Harden. James
Yeah,
Harden, yeah.
Yeah, James Harden was still James Harden. So like that AD had a lot of allegations he had to beat even after that 2020 season, because I felt like it was an anomaly. Like I've never seen Anthony Davis shoot that efficient from the 3-point line mid range, and even be able to create for himself that consistently, due to the points that you were talking about with the advantage, the severe advantage he had against most of the guys he went up against during that playoff run. But Desto, I heard you got to cook somebody.
man, I really just want to sit back and be a fan today, but I couldn't deal with all the anti-Laker hate and the misinformation being spread
About
over the
about about
last 30 minutes.
about who,
Spread.
man?
Well, first of all, about this whole asterisk on the bubble thing, I thought we was past that, but I guess we not. But really, I ain't gonna lie. I agree with Zeno. I was just telling one of my friends this earlier. I think something that keeps AD from these consistent dominant performances is mainly at this point in his career, he's a one level scorer, 1.5 level scorer, I'd say.
One
Like
half?
I say 1.5 because
Sometimes mid range.
he had stretches where his mid range is like
Yeah.
it'd be falling, and other times it'd be like it don't fall for like 2 weeks straight, you know. But I think that's the big thing. I think if he were to become, well, re-become, I would say, a threat from the mid range, that will lead to a lot of more consistent, dominant scoring nights.
Would you
Now,
not say that during this season that he's become more of a mid-range threat, or?
no, this season, no. But
Oh,
I think big part last season and in the playoffs last year, he was knocking down the mid range like exceptionally well. But also what I would say is, for me, it's hard if like, especially watching AD. I don't like really look at box scores. I watch like every game.
Yeah.
And some games AD does have bad games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard. It's almost hard for him to have a bad game to me. And I'll explain why. I know y'all like
defense.
what the fuck?
Defense.
No, I'm not.
Because he literally, and especially before
Defense and rebounding.
But yeah, especially before Cam Reddish and Vanderbilt came back, you're right, the way he carries the Lakers defense on his back is like insane, bro. Like somebody was like, people was mad at AD because of that Pelicans game we had the other day. If you watch that game, AD was amazing. And what he had, like 16 points or something like that. But the dude was dominant. Like he been like, look at his last like 8 games. He been amazing. The only game he was bad in, I would say, is probably like the Sixer game when Joel Embiid was just like cooking them. he started off well. He started off well. He started off well. They was going at it, but then Embiid was cooking them, and AD.
Yeah, sorry, Karen.
80 mid range wasn't falling, or whatever. So I definitely get out with saying Embiid, but I mean, just look at his last 8 games. Like the dude been fucking hooping, and this dude just balled out. And then instead of just talking about how good a player is, we just talking about oh, he ass and all this shit, and his shit don't
Well,
count. Hey,
nah.
what we
No one
talking
said
about,
that.
bro?
Nobody said that nigga's
No one
ass.
said that.
No
No
one
one
said
said
I mean,
that.
No one said that at all.
I'm
No.
not, well, I won't say y'all specifically, but it's just like
Okay.
that's what I'm seeing
Timeline.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like he, yeah, like bro, like the dude is fucking cold. I do think, and this something that would help or hurt the Lakers. AD needs to find that mid range shot back consistently. I don't even think it has to be self creation. I just think the threat of it would allow him to be a more dominant scorer. Like that leads to more 25 plus nights than rather like 18 to 22 nights. You know, when the paint dominance isn't as effective.
I've never felt like a big man had to have self creation in their game in the mid range. I
I
always
don't think
felt
so either.
yeah, I feel
No,
like
I think nowadays it's really it means more because the biggest reason why bigs back in the day and mid 2010s were getting phased out was because they were mainly doing big things. And like when you want to get to the star level of bigs, you need to have some form you need to either be a very dominant defensive player like Rudy Gobert, or you need to have incorporated some type of guard skills in your game. For example, Jokic's vision and playmaking, although that's kind of an outlier. So fair enough. Let's just use Domantas Sabonis in example. Domantas Sabonis DHO ability, or like when he's
he
at
has no shot
standstill, his
creation either.
huh?
He has no shot creation.
Oh, no,
Either.
that's not what I'm talking about. You're missing the point. I'm talking about actual, like, you know how guards are able to also play make for the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm saying. I'm saying how Sabonis is also able to play make for the team and pass on when he's on a standstill as
Yeah, but we're
well.
not talking about no. But we're not talking
Yeah,
about versatility. We're not talking about versatility. Like we all know that the reason why the big men have come back to like being at the forefront of importance is due to them becoming more versatile over the years. The Embiids,
fair
the
enough.
Sabonis's, the what we're talking specifically about is the shot creation. When we're talking about shot creation from the big, outside of Embiid and
Jokic.
name me the other big man that is consistently creating for themselves
I
to
mean,
an
also
impactful level, to an
to be
impactful degree, to an
to,
impactful degree.
to be fair, what other big outside of Jokic and Embiid are number one players on the team? And even when you say
But
Giannis,
that's why they're number ones because they have shot creation in their repertoire.
I would just think that they're that dominant on both sides. Well, Jokic is an outlier in this conversation, but I
Even
think
Embiid
that
is an outlier in this conversation.
yeah, but I think Embiid is also a very great defensive player. That's also what adds on to his
But
value.
so was Anthony Davis, and you wouldn't.
That's different.
Like hindsight,
because
you would not have Anthony
because
Davis as your
Anthony
number one on the
Davis,
offensive
Anthony
end.
Davis, and LeBron are kind of 1A, 1B. That's
But
kind of
that's because of Anthony Davis's defensive impact. Offensively, hindsight, you would
Yeah.
never have Anthony Davis as your number one on the offensive end. It just would
agreed.
not happen.
Agreed.
Yeah,
But
so that's what we're
I
saying.
want
In
to.
large part, that's due to his shot creation, his lack of shot
But
creation.
but Zeno, I have a question for you because you
Yeah.
mentioned you said something about like bigs in the modern era unless you have the shot creation or Rudy Gobert level.
No, I was saying essentially you would have to be like you have to be really good at one aspect. Well, I won't say one aspect, but essentially what I'm trying to say is we get to like a number one on a championship team.
Mhm.
For a big, it's usually the defensive route with like a Rudy Gobert route while also being competent on offense. Or you're the Jokic route where you're very competent on offense and the team is kind of built around your weakness on defense.
All right, stop right there. Stop right there.
Yeah.
Why does AD? It seemed like AD has to have both.
Once again, I told you the reason why people think he has to have both is because they are trying to put him in what people believe that he has the ceiling of like the Embiids and Jokic's, and that's why they criticize him. He doesn't constantly perform like those two players. Do I agree that you should put him that he has the ability to get there? Yeah, I do agree. I believe so. And he's been showing it this season. He showed it in the bubble as well, although I still think that's kind of an outlier. He's been able to do so, but that's why people treat him like that. That's what I'm trying to say.
But But what I'm saying is though, he has to have the damn near offensive level production or like skill set of those guys to be put in those conversations by the masses or whatever, while also being the best defender in the world. Like why doesn't that go into account when we have those conversations with those players?
I think that it could mainly just be to the fact that people kind of value offense way more than defense, which that's just the day that we live in. I personally understand the value of AD on the defensive end. I understand that if AD is on the court, that paint is essentially locked up. It's just super hard to actually get to the rim, especially when you pair him with a really good defensive forward like Vando, or you pair him with a very good guard defender in Cam Reddish. Everything becomes so much harder for the opposite defense, which you saw in the Pacers game, that like Cam Reddish was causing a lot of issues for Tyrese Haliburton, although he got himself in the foul trouble somewhat.
Yeah.
But what he brings to you on a defensive end is unmatched, and I agree with that. But I'm talking about other people. I'm not talking about for myself. Other people also want to see him get to the stage where he can consistently create his own shot.
So they want him to be the best player in NBA history.
I don't know. I don't know about creating your own shot consistently means you're the greatest player of all time. Because
no, I don't think.
I mean, Hakeem could do so, but hey.
But what I'm saying is, imagine AD with like Joel Embiid level offense or Jokic level offense.
I don't think we ask him to be to that. Oh,
I
don't think they are asking him to be that. So,
but I'm just saying, like every time AD has like a down game offensively, that's who he's compared to. His numbers is compared to their numbers.
To be fair, also when Jokic and Embiid have bad games, sorry to cut you off, but to be fair, when Jokic and Embiid have bad games, people flame them for that as well. Like you literally came in hearing me make fun of Jokic for going 18 or 56 for the past 2 games.
No, that's fair. That's
wrongfully so, by the way.
Rightfully so.
But AD can have a bad shooting game. That doesn't mean he has a bad game. If Jokic has a bad offensive game, that's a bad game.
You mean scoring game?
So Dexter, let me ask you something.
Scoring game.
You can. It depends how you attribute it. I mean, if you have a extremely low percentage scoring game, I would probably consider that low bad offensive because the efficiency it hurts our team so much. I know you're getting a lot of assists and a lot of playmaking opportunities, which is great.
Okay, fair.
But if you're shooting like very low, like a low percentage, I probably consider that a bad offensive game.
Let me ask you a question. Should AD be a 20 and 10 guy each night?
He is. Yeah, I mean, what you mean? He's like a 20 and 15. Or how many rebounds he has? I don't know.
I think like 12.
Yeah, he like a 20. I think like 23 and 13 right now, something like that. That's easy. He wakes up.
Yeah, he's 23.5 and 13. Yeah.
Yeah, he wakes up getting 20 and 10.
No, he doesn't. He does not wake up and give you that.
He wakes up and get 20 and 10.
You're being nasty.
He lead the league in rebounds.
No. It's not the rebounding aspect. It's the waking up and getting you 23. He's not waking up and giving you that. He works for that.
He is
every bucket that he gets, and that's a part of like why his offensive game is like always been suspect to me. He works harder. He works harder to get it because he has to get it at the rim. He has like when his shot is not working, which you already illustrated that sometimes majority of the time he'll go on 2 week stretches where he's not making his mid range. So that means he has to get it from the rim. You have to bang down low to get that. He works very hard.
Well, the only thing I mean was when he wakes up and get it, that's like his average. You know, he gets that like every night. Damn there. Like that's just his average.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
I'm not saying he ain't gotta work for it because he dominates that area of the floor, the paint, but it's only one area of the floor. So
I get what you're saying now. Yeah. You're saying that's the lowest he'll go.
That's low as it go. Now sometimes he gonna get you 30, he gonna get you 40, But other times, shit, he'll tweak some shit in the beginning of the game and get you 8 points, some bullshit like that, like and it's frustrating. I ain't gonna lie, it's frustrating, but like I will point out some games where AD was garbage, like that game when we played the Kings and Sabonis
the 9 points.
Sabonis tore his ass up, and he didn't give you shit on offense. Horrible. That was a terrible performance.
He did that again against Miami too.
Miami, he got hurt in the first half.
Yes.
And then he tried to give it a go. He could hardly move in the third quarter. Like he could.
Yeah, that's why I don't. Some of these games I don't even penalize him. I don't penalize him.
Yeah, like you got to watch the game. I'm not about to look at the box score and say because he was balling against Miami actually. Like he was
up until the moment he got hurt.
Yeah, he was playing great defense and everything. He had tweaked something and he tried to play through it in the third quarter, but he couldn't go. And then the game came down to the end. That's when Cam Reddish missed that shot, right? I think that was the game.
Say says, how many bad games do y'all think AD has had this season?
Let me see.
That's a direct like not a direct question, but like that's a question that like I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research.
How many games? I know he missed one game.
Games. How many bad games? Not missed a game.
No. I know.
No. He's saying how many games has he played so he could be able to. He's played 23. Yeah. He's played 23, and if I'm correct, I think. That's.
I'll remember. I'll remember every. Well, I'll remember how each game.
He's played 22 games.
22. Yeah, he's played 22.
He's played all 23.
Nah, he missed the game. He played the Rockets. He missed that.
So then why is it saying he played 23 though?
No, it didn't. It doesn't say.
I don't know where you saying that. It says 22.
It's probably including that game yesterday that technically doesn't count
against Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's played 22.
Let me see. I'm gonna say he had a bad.
I mean, the first game against Denver to start the season. That was a bad game.
I'll count that one.
Because his defense didn't think about how bad he was.
I'll count that one. I'll count the one. I'll count the one versus Philly.
I feel like that's not even a bad game like that because when I was watching it, it wasn't that he was bad. It was just Jokic is better. Like
no, he was bad. He was bad that game.
Really? He had a bad third quarter. I'm gonna say it. He had a bad third quarter.
But I'm saying, even if he had a bad third quarter, even if he had a bad third quarter, the first half even his defense wasn't impacting enough to stop the onslaught that Jokic had.
I'm not trying to hit it though, because you wouldn't say Jokic had a bad one, because Jokic was cooking too in the first half. AD was cooking in the first half too.
No. What I'm saying, okay. What I'm saying is in that game, right? Because remember, we sat back and watched that game. In the first half, Jokic didn't have to do anything scoring wise because he was facilitating. No. He didn't have to do anything facilitating wise because he was dominating scoring wise. Like he was attacking.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That I can't personally blame Anthony Davis when you're being having to guard one of the more unguardable players that we've seen. Like that's you. Fair enough. But for me, like that's like me criticizing Duncan's defense on Shaq when we all know who Shaq is. I'm not going to criticize that.
No. But okay. Even if we'll play this
Wait. Before you carry on, I do want to say the more I think about it, I feel like I can go down a slippery slope with this.
That's what I'm saying. Even if that's your logic, if Anthony Davis's claim to fame is his defense, and your defense wasn't defensing, and your offense wasn't offensing either, then like what really were you doing that game?
Fair enough. That's why I pulled out of That's why I moved. That's why I moved back on what I said, because I was like, actually, no, this is a slippery slope. Let me not stand on this.
All right.
I do not stand on this.
I look back, and out of the 23 or 22 games he played?
22 games.
Yeah.
I would say 5 were bad games.
Sage says Nuggets, Mavs, Kings, Sixers. What else?
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
I agree with that. That's what I was looking at. I was like, yeah. I think those
Sports
were his
PSC.
worst games. Yeah.
Sports PSC says, "What's next for Zion?" And salute to the channel. So you see that last part, guys? Make sure you
Make
do
sure
that.
you hit that
Appreciate
like button
y'all.
and you subscribe, man. What are we doing?
Let's
What are we
go.
doing?
Zion needs to go on another diet. Could go.
Zion.
It was a game. It was a game versus Phoenix when he had just came back from injury. He missed that Rockets game. He came back, and Nurkic was kind of like eating him up in that first half pause.
Yes.
And
Hey,
and
yo.
yeah, and he was inefficient. And Nurkic was kind of working him. So that would be the fifth game.
Is it me or Zion? Like his efficiency hasn't really been what it was.
No, it's not just you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like they're not playing. They're not playing inside out.
Did you when they played the Lakers? Did you see that good? Yeah.
You talking about what Stephen A was pointing out when he was at the free throw line?
Up court, man. That man had.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm the Pelicans, what I've seen from Brandon Ingram, I don't see a reason why you hold on to Zion any longer. It doesn't look like he changes. To be quite honest with you, it doesn't even seem like he wants to be there.
True.
So he doesn't.
Yeah,
he want to be in New Orleans. I don't know if he want to be a Pelican.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he wants to be a part of that organization anymore. So if he doesn't want to be there, and you still have Brandon Ingram, you still have CJ McCollum, Jose Alvarado, Herb Jones, you still have a lot of young assets. Valanciunas' contract is going to come off of the books, so you can go and you can hunt for some people to be able to build around Brandon Ingram. I don't see a reason of holding Zion hostage any longer. I would try to trade him and get whatever assets I could get from him because I'm telling you, the weight that they're describing him as, like they're saying he's like in the 300s. That weight at 6'6", you're going to get hurt. And when he gets hurt to the point of where his production just dies down to where it's not even a positive, because he's not playing good defense. It's just his offense is holding him afloat at this point. Once he gets to the point where his offense isn't good enough, you have to you're not going to be able to move him for any assets. So it's better to move him now.
Yeah, they need to come up off him real quick.
Facts.
That they're hurting Ingram, and Ingram's going to not want to stay there because the quote unquote dominant guy that you drafted is not dominant. He's not here. Half the time he is injured. So it's time to either move him or move me. I can see him
move
saying
both.
You want to move both? God damn.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Rebuild.
I'm kidding. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. How good do you guys think Brandon Ingram can be? Like
a number two on a championship.
Good flashes.
A number two on a championship team.
Number two on a championship team.
Yeah.
So if you could trade Zion right now, would you do it?
For what?
I mean, I don't. It's like, it's like for what?
That's it.
Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam.
Not good enough.
Okay.
I think they.
And there's no way when you trade Zion that you actually really have him. Sports PSP says, where do you trade him? Ingram has been great for the Pels as number one. He's an excellent young player and a nice coach. For the Zion, he needs structure and mental like Charles Barkley. I agree with you. That's one thing too. I do want to know where he's gonna get that from. And then secondly, like I need to know where you're trading him and who's gonna be in that package that you can
please don't trade him to Atlanta. Please don't trade him to Atlanta. No.
I think Zion may be a number two, maybe.
Bro, I don't know what.
I don't know. Number two.
I don't know. To be quite honest with you, Zeno, I don't know why, but I'm stuck on this. I don't see why Pascal is a bad trade. I feel like if you get Pascal, because I think Zion for Pascal is actually better than what you would get from most trades. Because Zion is so good that you're not going to get the same value that he brings.
My issue with that though is that like if you get Pascal, you're kind of cutting your timeline short. Because how old is Pascal? Just remind myself how old he is, because he should be near his 30s, right? He should be like 28.
He's been in the league for
he's 29. He's 29.
Yeah,
And
he's 29.
how old is Brandon Ingram? I want to make sure. Brandon
Probably
Ingram,
25, 26.
25, 26. Yeah, 26 years old. You
He's
see
26.
that age gap. You see that age gap. That means as soon as Brandon is 27, Pascal's 30. He's on his decline. Usually
Yeah.
he's on his decline at that point, and
What,
Brandon Ingram
what,
is still trying to
okay,
ascend.
what are you going?
So you
My
don't
thing is, okay, we
I
have
can
to
tell you.
trade
I
this
can tell
kid.
you.
What are we going to get? What, you want to go for OG Anunoby instead?
I can tell you. I can tell
hell
you.
no.
I can tell you.
I do not.
If I'm
I do not
a
want.
trade, if I'm a
Mhm.
trade, Zion, I don't want a player like Pascal Siakam because it's like, I mean, he's good. He's a good player. He's a borderline all-star, on the a good season and shit like that. But you're gonna be, it's like you're gonna be stuck. You going from a number 2 to a number 2. It's not gonna move you. It's not gonna give you more time to build around Pascal Siakam to become a number 1 and thing like that, or Brandon Ingram. Great players, great supporting stars, but you have to move him to a team that has like some potentially growing young player who could become something, or a team that's about to be that's ass or something like that's gonna get you a top pick or something like that. You gotta do something like that. Like that's the area I would go. If I could think of a team, what's a player with some huge upside? I don't know.
To be quite honest with you, I feel like I'm
That
hear what
want to
you're
win
saying.
now.
Trade him to the
I
Nets
hear
and
what
get Cam Thomas. No, let me chill.
No,
I hear what
no.
you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but to me, I feel like even if Pascal isn't moving you, I feel like the
Mhm.
best trade would be to Minnesota and getting Karl Anthony Towns.
I'm
I
with
don't
you with
Like
that
that,
one.
I don't
like
hate
for
that.
you to
I
get
I'm
don't
with you with
value,
that.
for you to
I don't
get
hate that.
value
I
for
think
value.
that I don't hate that because a lot of Timberwolves fans they saying we got Ant and it's our number 1 now.
Mhm.
Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert they back on they Utah shit. Rudy Gobert is probably my defensive player of the year right now. You know how much I love AD, but Rudy Gobert is balling.
Huh?
And I would say
Let
Rudy
him
Gobert.
cook. Let him get his cook on. Shut up.
Yeah, I love AD, but I would have AD number 2 right now.
He loves
Defensive player
some
of the year,
D,
no cap.
man. Sorry,
But
Karen.
and they love Nas Reed, bro. Nas Reed is cold, and they
Mhm.
Nas
saying
Reed stretches the floor so well for them.
and they saying if we can, because he's like a poor man's cat. He's not a cat, but he's like a poor man's cat. He doesn't play make like cat, but as far as like efficiency scoring and being a big body, if
Definitely a
you
bad ball
can
handler,
move
though.
off cat, start bringing Nas Reed and get a lot of extra pieces that you need for your team, you know, maybe a Zion, maybe something there. I don't hate that for the Timberwolves. Now for the Pelicans, I mean I don't know, maybe I still don't see them. I don't know. For me, it's like, am I
I
making
think for Minnesota
if
that
I'm
could
making this
actually work.
trade? If I'm making this
That
trade,
could work.
is this what does this do for my future? Is this gonna make me just to bring in tickets? Is it just to be average or be above average, or is this gonna lead to what the ultimate goal of every NBA franchise, is to win a championship? Is this gonna help lead to that? And
L Sage. L Sage.
It's either that or Utah Jazz.
for who? Oh,
Larry Martin.
they got a lot of
They
young
got a
players though.
couple. They got some young players over there.
They probably have to come off Keontae George. They probably have to come off of
You're not gonna look.
They're not
Why are
gonna
you
give you
going
that
hunting for?
one.
See, my thing is, why are you going hunting for young players? I feel like if you're going to trade Zion Williamson, you would trade for somebody that's either in their prime or entering their prime.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
that's fair, but it's like okay, you got to give me a name because some of the players you
Like I said,
naming,
Karl Anthony Towns. Karl
but
Anthony Towns
I'm
is
saying the
in
players
his offensive
that
prime.
you said currently sounds fast. I say we know who they are.
That's what I'm
Like
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. Yeah, Dexter. That's what you're saying is what I'm essentially saying too. I'm saying you need if you want to do that, you want to get a player that like might have the upside. I guess wait, is Dexter, are you trying to see them as like a championship team, like a team that actually can win a chip, or are you just trying to see a team that can have long-term sustained success? Which one?
I mean, I want if I'm gonna do a trade, I want to have something to look forward to. If I trade for Pascal Siakam, I like I mean, no disrespect to them. I just know I'm not gonna win the championship with Brandon Ingram and Pascal Siakam. And my building block is my long term players or whatever. I know I'm not. If I do that for Cat with Brandon Ingram, I don't know. Personally, I don't. I mean, I think it'd be a good team to watch and everything. That could be a playoff team, but I just don't. I feel the same with them. But I mean, I've got to find something to give me something to build toward, from the future. Something to give me some hope that they could pan out to be something like how the Indiana they got Tyrese Haliburton. They traded Sabonis. He's their building block for the future. They wasn't gonna do it because Sabonis was better than Haliburton at the time of the trade. I would think. I mean, at least from what we've seen from Haliburton, he was kind of in De'Aaron Fox's shadow.
Bonus was better than Tyrese when he first
but
everybody knew it was
Yeah,
eventual.
if you knew you got the right coach around, you got Rick Carlisle, somebody who can unlock him. He's coached Jason Kidd. He's been around the league for years. Somebody, and then now you have your building block for the future. Now, who else can you get around him? That's something I will look forward to. Find your Tyrese Haliburton. That's what I'm saying.
I feel like
Now, that
the
might be hard
core
to
of
do.
talent. I feel like the core of talent that they have around them is already one of those things that you could look out for. Maybe their ceiling might be lower than like a real championship level team, but like looking for the development of Trey Murphy the third, looking at Herb Jones constantly putting polish on his offensive game, looking at Jordan Hawkins and what he's been doing this season. Isn't that like enough of those like youngish talents that are actually getting minutes on your team to
that's
really?
why I feel like you guys are looking.
Yeah, the more and more I'm actually thinking about it, the Pascal Siakam trade doesn't seem as bad because they have the talent on their team to actually.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you as New Orleans, because I disagree with Sports PSP. I don't think the head coach for the Pelicans is really that good. I'm looking at their offensive sets, and it really is just like Brandon Ingram, Zion, make something happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really moved by that head coach. So I think that they should move off of him and either go for Mike Budenholzer, or when Tyronn Lue either leaves or quits the job from the Clippers.
Mike Budenholzer.
Mike Budenholzer.
The reason why I think Mike Budenholzer
help him defensively.
Huh?
Help them defensively.
Help them defensively, and then offensively, he picks up the pace.
Fair enough.
So that's the only reason why I would pick him. Otherwise, Budenholzer is a criminal. Either way, you need a new head coach, right? You need a new head coach, and then on the flip side, CJ McCollum also has to go. I think CJ McCollum, similar to what you're saying about Pascal, the similar to how you're saying about Pascal's timeline, CJ's timeline definitely speeds them too far up. Like, CJ is like, the more and more I'm looking at them, the more and more I'm like, you need a legit point guard in that position. CJ.
This is why I genuinely believe having Jose Alvarado for that team really helps them a lot. Of course, he's a really good pest on the ball. He's really good defensively, but what he does for them on the he's really good defensively. But what he does as a playmaker for that team really helps them. And to this day, I will never understand them not paying back for Lonzo Ball's contract. To be fair, in hindsight, it did work well for them. But what Lonzo did for this team would speak so much volumes right now.
Him as a playmaker, to be honest with you, he doesn't get enough minutes for me to truly like get a large enough dosage of who he can be. But I'm looking at Jose Alvarado. To me personally, the problem is just because him being 6 foot, and he just does not operate on the floor. Oh wait, no. I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I'm with you, because if you get a head coach that makes them push the pace, Jose Alvarado, he is
good at pushing the pace too.
He's good at pushing the pace. So yeah, no, you're actually right. Okay, yeah. So if Jose is your point guard, you move CJ out so that you can get a reliable either 2 guard. No, what would you move CJ for? Because Trey Murphy would be the 2. Either Trey Murphy would be the 2, or Brandon Ingram would slide to the 2.
It would depend on if you can get a better PG that can make for the team, or if not, like
what point guards are going to be
you
Alex
might want.
Caruso?
Yeah,
No,
that's
he's
true.
going back to the Lakers. No.
He's going back to the Lakers. All right, bro. All right, bro. He's gonna tell him, bro. All right,
Who's
now
gonna
you get
tell
rid of him.
Hey, man.
Oh my god. Okay. Malcolm Brogdon is going to be traded from Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
Send CJ back home.
Mm.
Get Malcolm Brogdon.
Like who's gonna tell him, bro? Who's gonna tell him?
I actually like that. If Malcolm Brogdon he needs to come out of Portland. They're wasting his.
I'm also confused why people treat Malcolm Brogdon as like a pass first point guard, but he's just more of a scorer.
Yeah, he is.
But no, he's not. No, but even with him being more of a, even with him having scoring ability, we've seen him in multiple situations in Milwaukee, Indiana to a certain extent, and even in Boston, he was given playmaking responsibilities and he excelled very well. So if you put him in New Orleans and let him do that same thing, I don't see why he wouldn't. And they're like, again, if Mike Budenholzer coach, he played with Mike Budenholzer before, so he knows what to expect. I actually like Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah, send CJ back home. Get Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah. But Zion. I think we all agree Zion has to go.
Yes.
So you don't think
Yeah. I'm trolling. Damn, calm down.
And all right. So we need So we spent an hour talking about the inside and stuff like that. I want to talk about the main character of all of this, the person that is my goat.
Embiid,
the greatest of all time, LeBron James. Let's talk about it, man.
LeBron James.
Come on, man. LeBron, man. Come on, bro. Like
I lost interest when we were speaking of Embiid.
You said what?
Yes.
I lost interest when we were speaking of
Embiid. Fuck
the Look, bro. We have to start being honest with this man, LeBron, man. Let's start talking about it. Let's start normalizing this. Let's start normalizing these conversations. Like who is your GOAT and why is it LeBron James? Let's start having these conversations. At this point, bro,
that's a weird way of saying Embiid.
To be quite honest with you, this is what moved me. When you add in the context the amount of offensive responsibility he still has at this point in his career, and it's a damn shame, by the way. It's a damn shame that he still has this responsibility at this point, because I would have thought by this point in his career. First off, I would have thought by this point in his career he would have declined. So,
I mean,
he's go shit. But he's also,
declined, but it's like
also at this point, I thought that the Lakers would have put a competent, competent creator that could be able to relieve some of the pressure off of him. But still, at this point in his career, he is the best creator.
Respect Reeves,
huh?
Respect
Reeves is moving you.
I think he as a secondary playmaker. I think so.
Yeah, as a secondary playmaker, fine. But as a primary playmaker, he's moving you, Zeno.
But I don't. I think it's.
I think his responsibility in playmaker.
At this point, I'm just trolling, by the way.
But no, I've come to the realization that even whoever you would bring in, they wouldn't be a better playmaker than LeBron in his career. Maybe a better scorer, maybe a better downhill threat or somebody like that. But who would you bring in?
My whole thing. I didn't expect. I expected for him to decline athletically to the point of where even with him being like a better playmaker, athletically, him not being able to do what he did. That's why, when we were talking about him in the postseason last year, I was like, I think this is who he is. So the fact that he's able to make me walk that shit all the way back, I'm like 2 blocks down walking that shit back. And he's playing so goddamn great offensively that his athleticism is put into question whether is it ever going to diminish when healthy? Is it ever going to diminish?
What is what going to diminish?
is his athletic ability is ever going to diminish to the point of where he has to concede being the lead creator for the team.
But I think, well, to that level, I don't know, especially because of his and I mean, we can see the diminished athleticism. It hasn't
To the point of
diminished completely
him being able to concede his
because I
role.
think a lot of it is mental. Like LeBron, like he doesn't, he can. I don't know. Like later in his career, he's understanding like angles and which to attack and like how to like run like different sets. He's not gonna one for a flat drive by you left or drive by you right anymore. But he's smart in the way to use like a lot of 80 pick and roll to his advantage or cutting or just his or being at the elbow playmaking wise like to his advantage. And that's all like a lot of that is mental for him. And he paces himself a lot too. Like Austin Reeves is on the ball a lot, D'Angelo Russell's on the ball. He's not on the ball as much as he was like the year that we won the championship in 2020 when he was the point guard. Like he's definitely not on the ball as much back then. So you know, he leads the league, I think, in points per game in the fourth quarter or like second or something like that. So that's when
I was gonna say I thought the
decides to
person
turn
who
it on a
leads
lot.
it. I was say I thought the person that leads it was De'Aaron. But
Yeah,
if that's
it may
the
be
case,
De'Aaron now. It may be De'Aaron now because they the Lakers they had some blowouts and they been sitting like a lot of fourth quarters and some shit like that. But yeah, I'm just saying he paces himself a lot. So you mainly see that towards the in the fourth quarter and sometimes when he has to turn it on, but it's not something that he does like as consistent as before. But I mean that's what Zeno he just said. He mentioned Zeno. I mean he mentioned D'Lo. He mentioned D'Angelo Russell. They take on a lot of ball handle responsibility. So
They
he
can
paces
take on
himself and he
they can
uses his mind to his advantage.
they can take on like more of the ball handling responsibilities, but at this point of his career, I think we all thought that the theory when trading for Anthony Davis was that the Lakers were going to like sort of transition this more to a Anthony Davis centric offense. And in reality, LeBron is just too damn good offensively for you to even look Anthony Davis's way offensively. Like when we're looking at LeBron, let's put this into his proper perspective. LeBron James in year what is this 21, 22?
21.
And he goes up against the New Orleans Pelicans, who like ran roughshod on the Sacramento Kings, right? The offense that they dribble handoff was supposed to be like,
Yeah, what's the name kept
oh,
stealing the ball from De'Aaron Fox. So my partner.
yeah, they were talking about De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis and they smashed them boys. And then LeBron and the Lakers go up against the Pelicans. LeBron said, I don't need to take no more than 12 shots. I'm gonna make 9 of them boys. I'm gonna go 100% from the 3-point line.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get to the free throw line for you boys that think I'm too reliant on shooting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab 5 rebounds. I'm gonna lead the team in assists with 8, and I'm gonna drop 30 while doing all of that in 22 minutes and a half. Like, name somebody else whose GOAT is doing that. Name another.
Mine is.
Mine did.
Hey, but look, but what I was gonna say is, and I had last season and even in the playoffs, I had AD over Bron as the Lakers best player. I still think it was kind of like it's debatable, and right now it's still debatable. But right now I mainly lean Bron just due to the fact that his jump shooting efficiency has got back to normal, but it's actually better than his career average. And last year was like way below average. Like he was terrible shooting 3-point line. And he's back. He's making them at an extremely high clip, but he's making that, bro. It's like
when he's making his threes, like even at this stage of his career,
it's like what can you do?
Yeah, it's really.
I'm sorry,
like
he's
at this
making that.
point in his career, he's shooting. At this point in his career, I think this is his second. I think this is second in this is his second best 3-point shooting year. outside of the 2013 year where he shot 40.6%, and he's shooting 40.3. So like it's negligible. But he's taking more threes than he did then, and he's shooting at a 40% clip. Like I'm not like y'all think I'm glazing, but like
You are.
LeBron, and to what you said about the conversation between LeBron and AD still
Remarkable
being like
glaze.
who's the one for the Lakers being a conversation. It's a conversation, but LeBron's won now. He's won. He's won. He's won,
bro.
And I'll take it a step further. I'll take it a step further. In our top 10, we
Watch
often
this
talk
place
about
game for us.
our top 10. We often talk about Jokic, Giannis, Curry, Luka, Embiid, AD.
I get what you're about to say, and I kind of agree.
LeBron's over AD. LeBron's in. Go ahead and move.
Oh no, this season, fair enough. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, this season, yeah, I mean, bro,
Yeah,
if
swap that shit.
LeBron making them shots, bro. If LeBron making them threes, bro,
LeBron is playing
back
so
making them threes.
amazing right now.
I might put him
The
up.
only,
I still think
the only thing that I want to,
like AD.
the only thing I want to put on y'all mind is this. I think something that needs to be taken into account is the fact that he's doing this in spurts. It's not something he's not doing it at a near consistent level as he once did. He's not doing it as a consistent level as the Jokic's, the Embiid's, the Giannis's, the Curry's. Even like he's not doing it to that level of consistency for him to be in that conversation. But to the rest of these niggas that got to beat their allegations from being a consistent offensive. Consistent offensive player like AD or even Tatum as of late. Oh yeah, he's over them.
And he's actually playing some really good defense this year too.
I don't know about really good, but
pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So Zeno, what you gotta say, man? Goat.
Not gonna lie to you, I was you guys already sat there for a good 30 minutes glazing you guys.
30 minutes, crazy.
We good. No, you guys can carry on glazing them. We good.
No, but that's that. To be called Rod. Rod to give the audience like a little bit of perspective. Rod thinks that it's MJ, LeBron, 1A, 1B. He does not feel like putting one over the other.
He can put. That's fine if you got LeBron over. I mean, he got MJ over LeBron. I completely understand.
He does not feel like putting one over the other. He just
El Copao.
Two of the greatest players in their generation, really. They changed the game in a way no one else has ever done.
You're supposed to say one or the other.
I don't have to do anything but be black and dollar, boy.
Let me ask. Hey, Rod, let me ask who is 1A?
You're supposed to say one or the other to piss the other people off. Come on now.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not. That's for y'all to do. I ain't got time.
But look, it's always
that's you.
You can say 1A, 1B, but one of them has to be 1A.
All right, bruh.
You're doing too much. You're trying to find. He's trying to find a way to do it, but it's not gonna work. So I don't fall into those.
But who's that 1A though? Which one gets the 1A title?
The point of 1A and 1B is that they're both up there. That's the point. They're both one. There's a tie. Like, there's no conversation about
name, that. Like MJ, LeBron, which name just popped up in your head first?
Which name popped in my head? That is nasty. But they both did because they're both talented in so many different ways.
AD has the perfect. Let's go up the score. What's good, Mar? If you want, pop up. Let's go say something. We can actually send you the link. AD has the perfect skill set as a co-star and plays better sometimes. But LBJ is the number one and has been always been in LA. Yeah.
But let me ask you something.
Outside of last season,
it was AD's team. I think.
Let me ask you something. Is because we've seen AD, in those games LeBron missed early in the season last year. In those games LeBron missed in the second half of last season after he had that foot injury, and AD was fucking balling. He was the main reason why the Lakers really made the playoffs, if we're being for real. Like, of course, LeBron had to help contribute at the end. Do y'all think we look AD sort of in this other light because of how well LeBron is playing at this age, bro? Like I don't know. I Because
What other like?
even AD sometimes, when you watch, like he says, okay, I don't want to, because like, bro, LeBron is still so good. It's like I don't have to exert. I don't have to go
Oh, okay.
150 offensively
Okay.
every
I see
night.
what you're saying.
So it's like is this um is that probably the way is that probably why we look at AD like, oh, he's up and down, he's inconsistent because of he's still playing because of how good LeBron still is. Because
Um,
I personally don't see AD having no sorry or no low volume shooting nights or no 9 point nights if LeBron isn't there. Sometimes he gonna have some inefficient nights for sure, but I feel like he'll be consistently aggressive if he doesn't have no second guy with him.
well, I
Or
disagree
no
because
other guy with him, like
I
LeBron.
disagree because I saw him in New Orleans, for instance, for some
But it
years.
wasn't to this degree, even though I can point out
Even
like
no, it actually was in 20
really.
the year that people saw Anthony Davis trying to develop like a 3-pointer. There were games like against Houston. It was like a close out. Like I remember, you should remember this too. It was like towards the end of the year. It was the Rockets were trying to make a push for the 8th seed, right? You remember this? And
2016.
it's 2016.
Yep.
And Anthony Davis went up against them, and he proceeds to give you like 12 points on and only attempting like 13 shots. Not
Well, yeah,
because
but that was
Dwight Howard was doing any good job on him or anything like that. He just was not in it offensively. I think that's the part where I have no problem with
yeah.
like
But I mean, you
to
talking
him
about 20?
offensively.
I don't even think that was his prime. I just think he was like barely like an all star at that point.
You're up, Mouse, by the way.
Yeah,
Say it again.
I don't even think he was. I really thought he started to reach his prime once
In like
that season
what
after that. Actually,
the 2016-17 season.
yeah, I thought that's when he really started to reach like because his body started to get like the body started to get there. His mid range became he was like
I mean, he
his
had an
defense
outing
got a lot
against.
better. Like, huh?
Oh well, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, but like once like that season when in the middle, you remember in the middle of the season when they traded for DeMarcus Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really started. He became like superstar. Like that season, the season after that when they had swept Portland,
Mm-hmm.
and then the season when he requested a trade, I thought those were like his really like best MVP level, like superstar, top 5 generational. When people
Well, I
start really
mean,
start talking
okay,
about him.
so like even in that season, he had a game against Phoenix, which this is tanking Phoenix, right? Where he only scored 14 points. He took 17 shots, so I guess that sort of debunks the like
Yeah.
his aggressiveness. But then he proceeds to go up against San Antonio, and he only attempts 12 shots, playing 30 minutes, and they end up losing to the San Antonio Spurs. He only scored 12 points that game. Or he only scored 16 points against Indiana. Granted, he only played 23 minutes, so something probably
Man
happened.
got hurt.
Or the game against the game against Toronto that I was looking at, he only scored 18 points. He played 48 minutes. And this is Anthony Davis that does not have like LeBron
Yeah, I mean
James.
he'll have. I'm not saying he wouldn't have bad games. I was just talking about
It
his.
was no in all these games that I'm pointing out. That was in the month of January.
No, that's fine. I was saying like I don't think that it would be like in a big part of what we talk about with AD is like his offensive motor. I don't
Mhm.
think he'll have a low. His offensive motor would definitely be ramped up if it wasn't.
It could
If he
be
wasn't
ramped
playing. If
up,
he
but
wasn't
to
playing
what?
with Bron.
It could be ramped up, but to what extent? You know what I'm saying? Like if
Like
your
like
motor,
you wouldn't you wouldn't
if we
question
say that
him.
Anthony Davis's like if we say that Anthony Davis's offensive motor on a scale of like 1 to 10 is at like let's say like a 5, right? Like it's an average motor, right?
Yeah.
How much of an increase is he going to get from that 5? You know?
I mean, I've seen, especially like in high leverage moments.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. If without LeBron, I'd say maybe like 7 to 8, really, at least. Because a big part of his game, especially coming out of college, was his defense. That was his always
Yes,
his
yes.
calling card. That's always getting on the glass and locking you up defensively, locking up the paint. That was always his calling card. And if he had somebody reliable offensively to carry the load, to carry the playmaking, to get everybody else in line, sometimes he reverts back to that dominant defensive player, and he doesn't. That's naturally where his mind isn't. Now you can even see when he played with DeMarcus Cousins, there was times he wasn't as uber aggressive offensively. Why? Because he's like, okay, I got this other dominant, high volume guy on my team. Let me do what I do best, and then some guy. I mean, he works on his offensive game. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, let me do what I do best on my end. Let me carry, let me
And that's
control
what
what
I
I can
think it
control.
is. That's what I think it is.
But everybody knows once DeMarcus Cousins went out that season, the Pelicans got better. They moved what's his name?
Better?
They did. They got better.
I feel like they
At least
were.
like
I feel like when
AD
DeMarcus
got better.
Cousins,
I would say that.
I feel like AD got to
better.
show because he got to up his volume. Like I think
Exactly.
I think DeMarcus Cousins went down in like March. I could be wrong.
He went
in
down around
March.
the All-Star game. I remember that.
Yeah. So it was like
before the All-Star game
February.
because AD had his jersey on. Remember?
Oh yeah. So it was like February, right?
Yeah, it was around February.
So that month of February, Anthony Davis ramped up his shot attempts from like I want to say up to then was like 19 to like 25.
Yeah. So when it's required, he'll do it. But it's like I think like mentally he's always been that dirty work, defensive rebounding a guy, and and then he'll be like a secondary scorer if he has a player better than him that can that can get buckets. So that's why I was just kind of putting that on your mind. Like maybe it's because he played with Bron, we expect like we still expect that from him. And I think maybe he should just try to take that over like himself. Like I can do both, but playing with Bron might just leave him. Or maybe he be glazing when he on the court too. I don't know, bro.
I think that plays a role, but I think that plays a role, but I think more than
saying
anything,
his own team is glazing LeBron is crazy.
I think
he may be, man.
A part of it, I think, is because I think it's because I think his motor would be higher if he had more responsibility. He had to come in night out, knowing that it goes through me rather than it goes through LeBron than me. So I'm with you there, but I think more than anything, I think it's just because offensively, there's certain limitations to Anthony Davis.
That's fine. He does have limitations, especially like we spoke on earlier as a creator, as a
passer,
jump shooter, like 3-point shot. Sometimes mid range comes and goes. But
creation.
like even that time, like last year when Bron was out and he had that stretch when he was like the fucking best player in the NBA.
No,
like, he would just
Embiid exists.
Jokic
I'm
exists.
sorry. That stretch he had when he went into Milwaukee. I know y'all remember that game, and he dropped off the best defensive front court in the league at the time, maybe. And then he went to Washington.
Like how Embiid did. Okay.
What happened?
You mean like how Embiid did, just like how Jokic did?
Embiid too, but I'm saying AD was going like, dog. I'm not, man. Fucking
I hate it.
Okay, but
I'm half trolling, half
we can all agree.
You talking about last year when LeBron went out, when he went up against Milwaukee? You talking about when he went up against Milwaukee in February, like before All-Star break?
No. I think LeBron had came back around that time.
He didn't see us after that.
Us? Who was us?
Hey, I was gonna say that too, but
Bugs.
I was gonna say
Bugs.
that, but
he didn't see you. You're talking about in December.
Yeah,
when he dropped like 40. When he dropped like 44 on us and shit.
Yeah, he went crazy. And then he had a stretch, bro. He was just unguardable, bro. Like on the glass.
Because after that Milwaukee game, he didn't proceed to go up against Washington and drop 55.
55, and then when he went against Cleveland, he was sick. He was fucking and he played like 1 minute.
Yeah, he only played 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he goes up against Philly. He drops off yo boy.
Yeah, he played great against him. The only thing he was in foul trouble to start.
And then in Boston, And then in Boston, he went up against
I
Sure,
don't
him
think he
last
played great that
last
game,
game
bro.
he played against us.
no,
That-
he dropped 37. He dropped 37 that game.
Oh my goodness. So
He
it
dropped
was
37.
Nah,
Long
no.
story short,
Hey.
guys.
I just
Long story
think
short,
I just think
LeBron James is the GOAT. And that's sort of where we at. Mar, bro, what's good, gang? What's good? You here to join the party, man? You here to join the party?
Yeah. I'm chilling. How y'all boys been?
Man, you know,
Salute,
can't
salute,
complain.
man.
Salute, gang. Salute. Are we gonna talk about that fraud day? Hey, come on, bro. Come on.
I thought he was gonna read the whole thing. I thought he was gonna read the whole thing.
How much time are we giving Dame time?
To be quite honest with you, that actually was the next topic. That was the next topic.
Ooh, okay, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. So, a part of our GOAT, doing GOAT things and stuff. There was another game. There was another game that happened. It was there was an Indiana versus Milwaukee game, and my best player, Giannis, he did his thing. He did Giannis things, and dropped 37, running and dunking, and not relying on his 3-point shot as much as people have been complaining about. Yo, shout out to Sage. Get off his nuts. And he did his thing. But even Chris Middleton gave you 20 points, efficient, shooting like 53, 80, 100 splits. Brook Lopez did his thing. There was a moment where the Pacers tried to press the Bucks. They gave it to Brook Lopez at the top of the key. Brook Lopez took Bruce Brown's little ass all the way to the free throw line, floated it over him, and it went in nothing but net. So everybody did what they were supposed to do, except for Dame. Guys, Dame chose tonight. Thursday night to not be Dame time. He gave us 24 points, and to be quite honest with you, the efficiency, it really got saved because the third quarter is really where he took off. Outside of that, he played horrible. He also got cooked on the offensive end. Tyrese Haliburton, shout out to him. Managed to give us 27, 7, and 15. On like 57, 33, 100 splits. He didn't even shoot the ball. He didn't even shoot the ball from the 3-point line like super well, but he was like getting whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. But this, I don't want to harp on Dame, but so I'll give you guys a little time to talk about it. But
all I heard was Dame was getting cooked on the defensive end. The sky is blue. Like, of course.
Hey, Zeno, it was the first round.
Yeah.
He played good, and then the second round, he was bad. And that's the story of his career.
It's almost like we've been known who Dame is, but hey.
I'm not
even in the in-season tournament, first round, good, second round, he can't get past second round.
So it sounds like someone in this chat, someone in this code cannot understand the easy thing that everyone here understands.
I'm stepping away from the camera. I'm stepping away.
Hello, Justin.
I'm stepping away.
Hey, Justin. Hey, how are you, mate? You good? Justin? Hello, Justin? No? All right. Well, it's tough, man. Maybe you should understand that, hey, once a first round merchant, always a first round merchant.
At least wait.
I knew what he's gonna say.
At least my players gonna be healthy enough to be on the court.
I know he's gonna say, hey, I would take a what's called an injured Embiid over a second round.
I don't know, man. Dame did make the Western Conference final.
Yeah, off of the backpack of his own teams. His own teams was carrying him.
CJ McCollum was deadly mid-range in Game 7. I ain't gonna lie.
I wish Embiid had. Yo, okay, all right, bro. It's it. All right, let's move on.
Hey, but hold on. I got some stuff I want to say about Dame real quick.
Let's go.
The stats, they could be changed a little bit now, but I'm not worried about Dame. Dame's a star player. He'll figure whatever it is out. He just hasn't been making shots. And a part of him not being able to make shots is his coach not putting him in the best positions.
Agreed.
When the Dame trade happened, I imagined a lot of Giannis and Dame 2-man game, and that just hasn't been it. I'm looking at it. This is from a couple weeks ago, so it could be changed a little bit, but it's still about the same. Giannis only sets picks around 10% of the times in that offense. And I understand it's because he handles the ball a lot and he's the one who gets screens set for him. But whenever Brook Lopez is setting Dame screens and Giannis is on the court also, he's just like wandering around the court not doing shit because Giannis ain't like he's going to space out the court that well. I feel like Adrian Griffin hasn't been a good coach at all. I feel like he's actually been a negative asset for the Bucks so far. And as long as Dame finds his groove with making shots, bro, I'm not worried about that man at all. His defense, though, I'm frightened. I'm frightened about Dame's defense. There ain't no way you can fix that because that is something that Adrian Griffin stopped doing. Instead of playing attack defense with Damian Lillard as his POA defender, which is sick. He now
Damian Lillard as a POA.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then he would ask Damian Lillard to blitz the same way that Drew Holiday does. That doesn't make sense. That tells you that you don't know the person. You don't know the personnel you're working with. But now the players complained about it, so they went back to drop coverage. But even then, I still feel like he's using Giannis wrong on defense. I feel like the whole point of the Dame trade was, hey, Giannis, we never asked you to guard the other team's best players, and you're one of the best defenders in the world. We're gonna ask you to do that now while Brook Lopez drops, and they just haven't been doing that. They just haven't evolved after the Dame trade. It's like they still think they got Drew Holiday or something.
So you aren't worried about Dame?
I'm worried about their coaching. Like if they go against a team like again the Miami Heat, he's gonna get coach circles around him.
And I agree, but I think that's. I mean, you worried about how the coach uses Dame?
What?
I said, but you like.
Are you worried how the coach uses Dame? I do want to say something before you guys carry on. Sorry to cut you off. I want to shout out this guy, Lakers Digest. That's actually from the last show. It's J-Rob. He says Cam Reddish is first team all defense. Interesting. We'll get to that. So back to what you guys
real quick. I want to ask you, if you know at all. You know how how All NBA has switched to positionless. Is all defense positionless too?
I believe not. Not. No.
Okay.
Makes no sense why that wouldn't be all positionless, but actually, no, makes sense because
it would just be a bunch of centers.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Why not?
Because it'll be a whole bunch of.
If we're gonna give it to the best defenders, give it to the best.
I get what you're saying. You're essentially saying, hey, if the top 15, which the All NBA is going to be now, why don't we do the exact same thing for defenders? Make it the top 15 defenses. But I feel like that award is more supposed to essentially respect and honor like the best defenders at all positions instead of just one position.
I feel like that's what the All NBA team should be also. And if you really wanted to see who were the best players, which is what it seems like they want to do, you should just look at the MVP race. The MVP race should be the best players of that season.
I don't know about that.
I don't like the position list All NBA teams, to be honest.
I think I could be wrong, but I think Julius Randle was like wasn't he like top 10 MVP?
Yes, he was at
All
one
NBA
point.
too.
He is not a top 10 player.
Exactly. So that's why I mean he's an outlier, but that's he's getting to the point of what I'm trying to say. I disagree with that notion. DeMar has been like a top 20-ish player for a while. Not nowadays, but before he was.
No, I'm saying like recently when he was playing in Chicago and they were like,
oh yeah. You mean the year with healthy Lonzo and yeah, I know
he was like top. He was like top 10, and nobody would dare say he was a top 15 player 2 years ago.
I mean, just because you finished top 15 in MVP doesn't mean you.
I can name the 15 players right now, Desto. Stop it.
No, you could have a top 15 season and not be top 15 though.
No, you weren't top 15 that season either.
But I'm
He
not
was
saying he's
in.
a top.
He was
I'm not
in
saying he's a
MVP.
top. He was a
He
top
had
15
MVP
player.
consideration
I'm not
over
saying he's a top
Luka.
15 player, but was he having a top 15 season?
No, he didn't. He was playing. He was playing under the circumstances that he
Regular
was playing. Is
season,
why
regular
he got.
season, yeah.
Yeah.
Regular season. Regular season,
Regular.
DeMar may have had a top 15 season that year, bro.
I disagree.
Yeah, regular
I dis-
season he could have.
No,
disagree.
regular season that his mid range was like
Bro, he was
really
not
good.
missing.
Yeah,
bro.
but
He was
and
hitting
even
they'd be
still,
like
And
the
his,
third
and his
season.
playmaking
even
was
still,
was better.
I wouldn't take him over Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young because those players they were just better. He was
in that regular season. I don't believe.
In the regular season, yes, they were.
I think in a regular season, it's arguable.
That same year that we're referring to, Donovan Mitchell had the Utah Jazz sitting comfortably in the number 1 seed. He had his best offensive season up to then.
1920? Wasn't that not the Cavs year?
No. This is 1920. This was 2021.
2021. Isn't that the Cavs year?
No, he went to the Cavs
the year after.
Last year. He went to the Cavs last year. No, not the year after. The year after that. Because remember, they slipped from the 1st seed to the 5th seed. They lost to the Dallas Mavericks with Jalen Brunson.
It was the year after 2020, the 2021 season.
Last year was
in 21 season, they were the
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. 21-22, they were the number 6
they
seed.
They lose to the Dallas Mavericks, and then he gets traded to Cleveland last season.
Oh, I'm tripping. Dang, bro, this year's been going by crazy.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, like, damn. Shit gone.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Donovan Mitchell was playing that good, had them as a number 1 seed. He didn't get MVP considerations, but you still know he's better than DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan,
was he better than DeMar DeRozan?
Oh my god!
Yeah, he was.
Was he better than DeMar DeRozan? That's big.
Yes.
You gotta remember to that point in time.
I'm remembering, bro. DeMar DeRozan was unguardable.
And so was Donovan Mitchell.
Besides last year,
DeMar DeRozan was unguardable.
Unguardable.
He guards himself though. By a defender, I agree, but to
Donovan Mitchell was shooting better from the 3-point line on higher volume.
Unguardable.
Okay, but that's fine. DeMar DeRozan was just automatic from mid range.
And Donovan Mitchell was automatic from the 3-point line
but it wasn't. Relax. It was not nearly as good.
Huh?
It was better because he was.
Bro, DeMar DeRozan was bro.
Donovan Mitchell was on some how you want it, I can give it to you either way.
That was DeRozan. That was literally DeRozan, bro. I'm not even.
What does blood mean about that?
I remember Donovan Mitchell was top 5 all time in points per game in the playoffs. DeMar DeRozan was like one of the
playoffs.
top 5 droppers.
We're not talking about playoffs though. Are we not talking about regular season?
I don't even want to say the word DeMar in the playoffs.
Even in the regular season, Donovan Mitchell was giving you, I want to say, probably 2 less points on higher efficiency in different categories.
And he's not a black hole. Like, he actually shoots threes, and his team doesn't have to cater to him as much as DeMar.
Yeah, but I mean,
the team doesn't have to cater to him as much as DeMar, but I wouldn't call him a black hole, but the team does have to cater to him, which is why even now, like this season when he was out, you can see that the offense flows more because he's not. Garland is more of a pass first than scorer. So like the actual Garland. I'm not talking about that. And even when he did have Garland, or even when he did have Garland in the playoffs, you saw that he was having to create for himself majority of the times. Granted, that's due to his bigs kind of getting the shit beat out of them by the Knicks.
But Garland was playing like a child.
I mean, to be fair, all 3 of them, that was like their first playoff experience, but
that's fine. But like we still got to.
I understand that, but I'm saying that's literally his play style is to really like.
And by the way, I don't know why y'all arguing his year in Chicago in 22 when we're talking about in 21. He was still in San Antonio.
Huh?
He was in San Antonio that year.
Wait. When did Lonzo
2020-21 season is the year that we're referring to Donovan Mitchell in Utah.
Okay, yeah,
when they
I'm getting
had
these
the
years
'1
mixed
season.
up. So
Yeah,
last year
I thought we
was
was
the
talking about
Roses.
his.
Yeah, I'm getting
Yeah,
the
sorry,
years mixed up. I'm
Karen,
getting the years
Karen.
mixed
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Donovan Mitchell in Utah in 2020-21 season. He did not get many MVP votes. I don't think he was top 10. And yet he had the number 1 seed on Utah.
But I don't
That
even know
same
if he
year,
was
DeMar
I don't even
DeRozan
know if
was
he was the
on the
most valuable player
2021.
on his team.
Say it again.
I don't even know if he was the most valuable player on his team.
That was I remember that
Because
year.
Rudy didn't Rudy Gobert win
That
MVP last season?
that year it was not a discussion. Donovan Mitchell was the best player on that team.
You
You can say whatever you, and I'm not denying Rudy Gobert's defensive
He
greatness.
is.
What I'm
He is.
saying is, even with how great he was defensively, an argument can be made that year specifically. Donovan Mitchell had much more to have to carry on the offensive side with both shot creation and creating for others than he ever did in his years in Utah. Those last 2 years he was there, he had to be basically the everything for them.
I disagree.
You mean like
Especially when Mike Conley was going down, he was in and out of those lineups. Donovan Mitchell
Because
had to
didn't
score
he
and
have,
create
bro?
for them.
Because you got to look back, bro. He had the 2 runner-ups for fucking 6th man of the year.
Who?
But that Jordan Clarkson.
They had Jordan Clarkson and Joe Ingles. They both was like 1 and 2. They was insane. Like coming
Joe
off the bench.
Ingles-
So he
but
wasn't just have. I'm not saying he didn't have a great season, which he did.
Joe Ingles at that stage,
Was cooked.
I'd argue.
What?
Oh no, he wasn't good. No, he wasn't
What?
good.
He was
No.
not
I'm
good?
thinking
What?
when did he tear his Achilles? I can't remember when.
The year before.
No, it was not.
He was a
No,
good
it
player,
was that
though.
year. It was that year.
Yeah, so then he wasn't. Then
Hold
Joe
on,
Ingles
bro.
was
Let me
a
see what he
competent
tear
piece.
the ACL.
It wasn't an ACL, it was an Achilles, no?
It was
I
some
think
shit
it
like
was-
that. One of
Yeah,
them
so
shit.
at that point, then he was still,
I think Ingles got hurt that year going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it was going into the playoffs because he only played 67 games that year.
Yeah, and then they had Bogey
No, it was
before.
September 2022. So it was the year.
Oh, it was the year after. The year
So
after.
it was
Okay.
yeah, it was wait, yeah.
21-22 season. Yeah. Now, if you want to argue that year, I'd still disagree.
Oh, you know what? That's when he came back. Hold on, let me look back at it. When did it happen?
No,
I think D-Mitch is the better
45
player.
games that season. He only played 45 games that season.
Yeah, so yeah, it was the year after. So he played the whole season. So he wasn't cooked. He's still solid now. He just solid. He ain't,
He was solid. No, he was solid. I'm saying as those last 2 years that Donovan Mitchell was in Utah, he took on more of the offensive role.
Yeah.
Because Rodney, okay, this is the only evidence I go. Rodney, when we were discussing Donovan Mitchell, what was I always critiquing him over around that time?
Playmaking.
And when was that not like a year or two ago?
Yeah. We were talking about him doing his playmaking, and I was saying some of the pieces around him were not hitting shots. Ingles was down, or he got traded, one of the two. And they had what's his name? Bogdanovich. He wasn't hitting shots. Mike Conley wasn't in the lineup, and it was just Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, which we know. Which now we
He
can
didn't
see
want to pass that
do
bitch to
okay.
Gobert, though. I remember that shit.
For what? What's he gonna do? Hold it and go back?
You're right. You're right.
That was just a waste of time. You don't give it back to me. Whatever.
He'd rather shoot 40 shots.
Yeah, like that year, I'm open to the conversation because I was talking to that was when me and Rodney first started the podcast, and we were debating over like how good Donovan Mitchell was, and I was like, I think Rudy Gobert is like that year. I thought Rudy Gobert was better because I thought his playmaking like got put on like an alarming like spotlight. Like he was he was having to playmake because Mike Conley went down.
21 or 22?
This is 22 season. Mike Conley went down, and the players weren't he was arguing that the players weren't hitting their shots. My thing was
I disagree with that. I'm looking.
Donovan Mitchell's reaction time to me when he's in the lane. It's always been a tad too late to me. I feel like he takes like a while to give it to his shooters. So like Bogdanovich would get it like a second or like a millisecond late, and like when you give it to him late, it sort of ruptures. It fucks up
off the rhythm,
and then it forces them to be like a tad more rushing on their shot because the defense is closing out. Like those type of things that I would expect Donovan Mitchell at that point, being the primary ball handler for 1 to 4 years, he would have developed that by then, especially playing alongside Mike Conley. He didn't, but Rodney argued the latter. But so I'm open to having that conversation in 22, but in 21, no, Donovan Mitchell was better.
Okay, yeah, I was talking about 22 for sure.
Yeah,
22. But wasn't we talking about Lane time? I mean Dame time.
Yeah, we was talking about
we didn't take too long on Dame time.
We're talking about fake time, man.
Yeah, I'll say this, and then I really want us to talk about the Pacers because I think that they deserve the majority of like this episode, but not the majority of this episode, but they deserve the majority of our time. When it comes to the Bucks, to be honest with you, they seem like they don't know who they are. Like they don't know who they should be. Like by this point, we're 20 games in, or we're like 22 games in. You would think by now that we would understand how much of the offensive load should be pressed upon the pick and roll of Dame and Giannis. Yet the Indiana game is like further evidence of the fact that we're trying so hard to be something that we're not. Why the hell? What's his name? Adrian Griffin is pushing ball movement over giving the damn ball to Dame to run pick and roll with Giannis is mind-boggling, especially when you take into the fact that game, Malik Beasley he wasn't even shooting lights out from the three. So why the hell Malik Beasley is able to make decisions more than Dame is beyond me. And then I'm not even going to stay too long on the coach because Dame deserves so much blame as well. The fact that you come down court religiously, and I was sitting on another podcast getting on LaMelo Ball because he plays lazy at times on the possession, which is why he can't be in conversations with Tyrese Haliburton and those type of players, because there's plays where you see LaMelo Ball sit there at the top of the key. He hasn't even looked to run another play. He just chucks that shit up just because he doesn't feel like moving. And I'm over here getting on him whole time. Dame time, who's sitting here at the hash mark waiting for the ball. He gets the ball and he decides to chuck that shit up. Like, I don't understand what the hell is going on here. Like, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. On one hand, I see games where Giannis is dominating along with Dame. Chris Middleton's coming along fine. Brook Lopez is doing Brook Lopez things. And there was a stretch where Malik Beasley was shooting well from the three-point line. So everything was all good and gravy. Even when Adrian Griffin was running rough rotations and making questionable decisions on the floor, it's okay because everybody else is playing their part. Like, we're dominating. Like, it's fine. But when you lose games like this to Indiana in the fashion that you lost it, keep in mind, by the end of the third quarter, the Bucks had the lead. The Bucks had the lead after the starting in halftime, losing by 12. They were able to come back due to Dame basically starting off hot, hitting, I want to say, all of his 4 threes or the majority of his 4 threes in the third quarter to get us
he
right
did.
back.
All four.
Yeah, all 4 in the third quarter to get us back into the game. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, we're good. Like, this is what you like. This is what you want to see. You want to see like execution. But then in the fourth quarter, I'm seeing Dame die on screens. I'm seeing Giannis have to work double overtime to take care of the problem that Dame created, which made players be able to abuse Malik Beasley because, quiet as kept, Malik Beasley going back on his bullshit defensively. That nigga's bad. And then Chris Middleton, who we all understand is coming off of an injury and he really is not what he once was. This nigga's having to take contested 3-point shots because everybody else just is like, your turn, my turn in the shit. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on with our offense. Defensively, we are what we are. Like, I've already accepted, like before the season even started. Zeno will tell you, I've already accepted the Bucks are not going to be that good defensively. Like they may be a little bit better, like a little bit like average, a little above average, maybe even if they get their shit together. But that's the best it's going to get. The fact that Dame and Malik Beasley is our starting backcourt tells you all you need to know about how odd and how bad this defense can be. But the offensive side is what I always like kept saying, like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We're like 22, 23 games in, and I still don't know what the fuck our identity is. Are we 3-point shooting? Are we
No,
paint?
don't worry. You figure it out. You figure it out.
No, bro. I mean, I hope we figure it out because you want to know. You want to know something, and this is not a hot take. It's gonna look so nasty on Dame's legacy, and even Giannis's legacy to an extent. Let them niggas fuck around and lose to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh boy, I'm waiting for that to happen.
Hey, Giannis got a championship.
Hold on, no. I'll take it a step further, Zeno. Let the Bucks fuck around and lose to the Orlando Magic.
Come on, chill.
Oh, we hot taking that. Hey, somebody hot take that. Come on now.
Come on.
I want hot take it, but I'll let her see.
Let the Lakers let the Bucks fuck around and lose to the Orlando Magic. It's gonna be some decisions made around here.
Yeah, I think
Is it that bad how hot Orlando has been playing?
It's bad. No, because even with Orlando playing this well in the regular season and like their offense, and when it comes to the postseason, it's gonna get real nasty. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, let me ask you something. Just like in Zeno or any of y'all that know, what is like Adrian Griffin's calling card? You know, every coach has something.
When he was an assistant coach for the Toronto Raptors, this is what I'm hearing. I didn't watch many Toronto games. What I'm hearing is Adrian Griffin played a large role in the ball movement that was given, which is why, like when Kawhi left, he started helping Nick Nurse implement a ball movement, a motion system.
Hey, ball movement was trash.
Really? Really?
Hey, ball movement
is terrible.
He was saying that's what I was hearing. I'm hearing he was helping implement a ball movement.
It was
Fred
Van
Vliet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam was benefiting off of that type of offense or some shit like that. So when he came in, the same thing I was telling Zeno, you tell me if I was wrong. I was saying I'm expecting, if that's what I'm hearing, I'm expecting him to come in and implement that same ball movement to the team, which I think is very much. I think it could be actually reliable. It could add some type of diversity to our team and stuff like that. I'm looking at this team. This team look nastier than Toronto did. This team's looking nastier because they actually have the offensive pieces and they still look incompetent.
Well, some games they look like that game against the Knicks. They was not fucking missing. Like
that was because Dame and Giannis was making everything.
Yeah, they wasn't missing.
They're not making everything. That offense looks nasty.
I think Adrian Griffin is just a player's coach. He's a former player, and they needed someone to blame when they lost that playoff series after Giannis was hurt. And instead of just running it back and hoping they're healthy, they just had to fire Mike Budenholzer. And that was the first. I know Mike Budenholzer got out-coached, but it was by the best coach in the NBA. So it shouldn't really matter that much.
And it's kind of fucked up because I ain't mean to cut you off, but I think his brother died during the series or something like that.
Yeah, and I felt like Budenholzer had a debate at Coach of the Year last season. I know.
No, he didn't. We're not lying.
I'll tell you why, though. It's because the drop coverage scheme.
We're not gonna lie.
The drop coverage scheme, though, the team I'm talking about regular season wise, playoff wise.
He did not have judgments. He did not have no case.
They were the number one seed. They were like an all-time defense, and he's a defensive-minded head coach.
Yeah, and even still, because ultimately, because the reason why he didn't have a case is because you would not say that he had a case over Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah, he had a case over Joe Mazzulla.
He did not have a case over Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, who is literally better than Joe.
Mazzulla, who was not given the keys. Mazzulla, who was not given the keys to the Celtics. He was basically, here, you take it. Type shit, because Ime Udoka wanted to be stupid. That dysfunction that was happening that offseason, nobody expected the Boston Celtics to play as well as they did in the regular season. He ended up having them literally coasting to the Eastern to the Eastern Conference Finals. Well, the Eastern Conference semifinals until they went up against the 76ers. So no, Joe Mazzulla had much more of a case. And then if I'm
Mike Brown, you could say Mike Brown.
I think Mike Brown had a larger case. I think
Yeah.
what's my guy's
But
name
don't
for
say
the
Joe. Joe's
for the
actually a
Nuggets
bad
for the
head.
Nuggets?
Mike Malone.
Yeah, Mike Malone. Mike Malone had a better case.
Did you guys already say Mike Brown, by the way?
Yes, we said Mike Brown.
Okay.
Who else? If I'm correct,
Mark Dognaut?
nah, I don't think he really had a case because they were a play-in team.
I'm gonna be real with you though. I know last year he didn't get that much hype. Last year I liked Jamal Mosley last year just because he had a young team playing defense, but he would have not won it. Eric Spoelstra, shit, but you know he.
Nah, I wouldn't get Eric Spoelstra had the Heat. He was like the 7th seed. I think
No,
the only coaches
yeah,
the only coaches that truly had like a because even with Mike Budenholzer, like even with Mike Budenholzer having the Bucks have the number 1 seed. I mean, the Celtics, it was like about 1 game. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, Joe Mazzulla, who was the fresher coach, who was literally thrusted into this responsibility, I want to say right before training camp, to be quite honest with you. I could be wrong.
It was like a week before the season.
Yeah, it was right before then, and he was given that responsibility. He had them prepared, and they were the 2nd seed only by 1 game. So I think he had the case over him. I think Mike Malone had the case because he was number 1 in the league. And in Sacramento, they were looking like everybody thought that they were going to be a lottery team. I thought they were going to be a lottery team. I'm not going to lie to you.
I didn't. I thought they were going to be. I thought that they had the ability to get into the play-in.
But I thought that they could be a play-in at best. And they fucked around and got the third seed while being the best offense by a mile.
Yeah, then the Bucks got the 1st seed while being the best defense by a mile. Or not by a mile because the Celtics is right there, but they were the best defense.
But he's had that crew for much longer than Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah. But Joe Mazzulla, he also, like, his whole roster, like, from the 1 to 10, I feel like the Celtics usually have one of the best rosters in the NBA literally every single season.
I guess that's fair, but when you add in the context the fact that they were caught off guard with the Ime Udoka situation, and then he didn't get the job until right before training camp started. I think that trumps Mike Budenholzer, who has with a team of Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Brooke Lopez. I think, and he's had that for like 5 years now. I think that trumps that.
Yeah, I understand that, but I remember Joe. He had the same start to last year as Adrian Griffin is right now with the Bucks. I remember the beginning of the season, he was trying to change the scheme around. He was trying to put his handprints on the team, and he just realized he just needs to go with Ime Udoka's formula. Like, at first, he wasn't doing that well when he was doing what he wanted to do. He had to get persuaded by his players to do the right thing. Like, he was changing their sets on offense.
I could have sworn they got off to a hot start. Tatum was like in the MVP talks. People were actually saying he was leading in the MVP talks. And then
I remember that, but I'm talking about like the actual game. He was changing the way they run their offense. He was changing how they play defense. He was changing the starting lineups and stuff. Like, he was putting his handprint on the team, and he was doing stuff that eventually in the playoffs and at the end of the season when he went back to the norm, the Celtics became a better team.
Let's see. You could be right. You could be right, but so we got a bummer because we just finished talking about this. Okay, Tyrese Haliburton is on one. I just want to let y'all know that. How much of a positive do you think that this was for Tyrese Haliburton, his run that he just finished going off on, in the in-season tournament?
You think he's finished? Because I don't.
No, I don't think he's finished by a long shot. But I'm talking strictly from eyes are on him now. Yeah. They know who he is now.
Crazy.
I think quiet as kept. I think the community that we have built amongst ourselves, right, between Up the Score, Hoopsters podcast, even Sports PSP, we all knew how good Tyrese Haliburton was. We always talked about it, but ESPN never gave this guy the time of day. They just spent the whole day, Saturday, talking about Tyrese Haliburton's journey. I ain't never see this nigga's dad on TV until like Thursday.
Crazy thing to me is he's been playing very similar to last year. He ain't even like.
Yes.
He has more opportunities, so the stats are a little higher. But I remember when we were doing the preseason thing on this channel, I was talking about before Reese got hurt, they were the 4th seed in the NBA last year. Their offense is crazy. They're the best offense in the league, but their problem is they're the 2nd worst defense in the league. As much as I love Benedict Mathurin, he's like one of my 10 favorite players in the NBA. I think they should move on from him just to like speed up the process. Not by a lot, but just by a tiny bit and get a better fit. I would just keep Buddy Hield at this point. Him and Haliburton fit way too well next to each other.
Because he shoots so well.
If that happens, then rest in peace that front court defense, bro. Oh boy, that guard defense is looking cooked.
Haliburton and Hield as your guard defenders?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends who you get at the 3, though. That's why I say you trade Benedict. Like,
yeah, but I'm saying I'm talking strictly guard defense, no?
Yeah, but it's you got to compare yourself to yourself because right now they got Benedict and Hield and Brown. Those are all 6'4" guards who are being asked to play the 3. If they have Benedict changed onto like for example, OG Anunoby, which is unlikely, but I'm just using an example. They get a legit 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" win. It makes one of them at least a full-time shooting guard.
Actually, I'm not even mad at that. I think because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking they have to make a move this offseason. I think they have to make a move for a forward that could be able to add some type of defensive impact. And to be quite honest with you, I've been saying this name everywhere I go because I truly think he can be impactful, and to some teams he's worth the price. OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby would be.
Yo, Mar, are you gonna tell him or do I have to tell him?
I think OG Anunoby for what being 6'8".
You want me to tell him, Mar? I didn't think you know. Sure.
I think OG Anunoby on the defensive end, I think he could bring some level of impact, more impact than what they have now. And then as far as a three-point shooter, I would like to say, when given a proper playmaker that could be able to give him the proper amount of open shots, he can knock them down. He's shot in 39% for 2 out of the 4 years that he had Kyle Lowry as his main playmaker. And even this year and the year before, where Fred VanVleet was the lead playmaker, he shot 38.7 on high volume. So I think he adds value. I think he has value that I think the Indiana Pacers can benefit from, not to mention the upside defensively, like upside from the sense of like, we know if like given Miles Turner, who's a solid rim protector behind him, I think he could be able to show his defensive shot. Plus he's 26, so that adds him to like the timeline a little bit of what they're on right now.
You want to tell him, Gino?
Well, somebody say it, damn.
Like I'm like, bro, y'all like, what y'all
It's like it's a fucking secret.
I guess I have to say it. Yeah, Masai Ujiri doesn't really enjoy, trading his players for nothing less than an arm and a kidney. So you might want to go and think about someone else. I'm sorry to break it to you, Brody.
I'll be honest with you. His contract is going to be up soon.
Oh, you would think that wouldn't matter to us, Masai Ujiri last season. Yeah, it didn't work, did it? You thought it would have worked within 2 seasons ago. Yeah, it didn't work, did it?
His player options finna kick it. You have to trade him, bro. Like, unless you're telling me that Masai is not as good of a GM as people were pushing them to be after they won that championship in 2019.
Do you want me to tell you now, or
You can tell, like, please, we're live now.
he's
Please,
not like he's clearly not. If he's been holding on to this guy when they could have gotten KD, and they chose OG too much. like, what was it to say to you? I'm trying to tell you the truth, and you're sat here thinking about OG. Wipe that from your mind. Wipe that from your mind.
Wipe that from your mind is crazy, okay?
OG is a great role player, though. I seen a report that Tyrese Haliburton has been trying to tell stars to come to Indiana, and I was thinking, like, who could be some of those stars? I was thinking, like, Paul George. He's gonna be a free agent this year. Clippers ain't extend him, try to convince Paul George to come back home. Brandon Ingram, if Zion keep with his BS, you try and go get you BI. I don't know who else though.
I feel like that's the problem. I feel like that's the problem though, Mark. Like I feel like that's the problem, Mark, when it comes to like teams that need wings, because there's quite a few teams that actually need like competent wings. And in Indiana's case, they need a wing that can be able to defend while also still leveraging some level of ability to be able to shoot the three ball
and have size,
and while still having size, right? And so when it comes to the Raptors, what Masai has on his side is he has a slew of big, firm, defensive-minded wings that are capable of shooting the ball. So my whole logic is you have people that, to be honest with you, their contracts are about to come off of the books. Like their contracts are about to come off. So if you have those contracts that you're not going to pay these guys as much as they're going to want to, why not just try to absolve yourself from further scrutiny and trade them for assets? Because it's not like Indiana doesn't have any assets they could offer Toronto. Do I think that Masai is going to ask for like Zeno was saying, an arm and a leg or arm and a kidney for a player like OG, who, like, we all understand he's really not that good? Yes. But do I think that it could be worth it long term for a team like Indiana? I actually think yes.
Me too. I think yes. OG.
Like, what else are you doing with those assets, right?
I just want to say
OG is worth it for a lot of teams, man. Just because how hard it is to find his skill set and how valuable it is.
Like the amount of stuff that, like, this guy Masai is treating OG like he is a superstar. The way that
franchise player.
He just treats him like he's a superstar. The way he just denies all these like good deals for him. Imagine you called off KD. Like, that's just crazy to me, bro.
Yeah, it's reported, but these are all reports though. Like the report that he declined 3 firsts in a swap from the Grizzlies.
And to be quite honest with you, I think Indiana would have to give up a lot. And there's another team that I think could use OG Anunoby's services. Charlotte. Charlotte could definitely use a defensive wing that could be able to shore up that shooting guard or small forward spot. I would prefer small forward.
The reason finish what you're saying?
Oh no, I was about to say, and he could be able to make them not the worst defense in all of the NBA.
The reason I think OG is so valuable is the same reason Alex Caruso is. You can put them on literally every single NBA team. I don't see a team where OG doesn't fit.
I could see a team where he wouldn't fit.
Can I ask a question?
You put him on the Clippers.
The that's like okay. That's like that's literally even on the Clippers though. He'd be nice. You have Harden, OG, Paul George, Kawhi.
I don't, because it makes it redundant. It makes it redundant.
Yeah, it's already redundant though with Paul George.
They have a lot of people coming off. Supposedly coming off their books for Indiana.
The books, yeah.
You got Brown, you got Buddy. They're gonna have to fill some spots.
I think the only if I'm Indiana, the only untouchables on my team.
It's to Haliburton.
Yeah, the only untouchable is Haliburton. Whatever else you
I'm
want, fuck it.
I'm
I
keeping
can
Turner.
find because no. I would say Tyrese, and I would fight for Miles Turner. I would fight for Miles Turner.
Okay.
But everybody
that's
else,
cool.
you can have them. You can have them. You can have them because I can find another Buddy Hield. I can find another sharpshooting two. I can find another Bruce Brown. Well, no, you can't find another Bruce Brown. But
you better respect Bruce Brown.
Yeah, I respect. But I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like you can find another player that can fill those roles that majority of those players play in this Indiana success. You cannot find another two guard or another 2 or 3 that play that at 6'6" or 6'7" can play defense as well as OG does, and while being a consistent 3-point shooter, no matter what volume you give him.
What about like Andrew Wiggins?
KJ Martin.
Andrew Wiggins?
Yeah. Like,
I don't like it because his 3-point as of late been looking bad.
yeah.
And so if his 3-point is looking bad, even though I think he defensively, I think he's found his niche. I think that can transfer whether he plays on the Warriors or not. I think his offense gets exposed even more than it is now.
I wonder what's the pathway to them getting a small forward, but their team currently though, hey, I'll just be happy with them if I'm the Pacers. I'll just be happy right now.
KJ Martin.
Nah,
You don't like it?
Nah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's Indiana. Indiana, very good team. Tyrese Haliburton, superstar.
I'm very strict with that word.
Yeah, star.
He's a bona fide top 25 NBA player. Bona fide.
I have him in my top 20.
Yeah. Bona fide.
He got traded. Yeah, he got traded the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bona fide. So like, no argument. Top 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I feel like he's a star. I think Indiana has a good thing on their end. They have, to be honest with you, they have a good problem. If we're being quite honest with you, offensively they're fantastic. Defensively is where they lack, but they could find some way to be able to find a happy balance because they have assets. This is a great problem for them to have. So I love what Indiana is doing over there. I don't know who the GM is, but shout out him.
Larry Bird, no, or is he the president?
Larry Bird, the guy that told PG to play power forward.
Yes,
that's tough. That's crazy.
Is it Larry Bird?
It better not be Larry Bird because the shit I was talking about him.
It's some guy named Chad Buchanan. Chad, shout out Chad, man.
Shout out Chad B. All right. Whose legacy benefits from winning an NBA championship this season?
Embiid.
The most?
Oh, the most. This season.
Damn.
To me, and it's gonna sound like a hot take, it's Russell Westbrook. If the Clippers win a championship, it would have to be because Russell Westbrook was so selfless. He told them to put him back on the bench, and he would have to play inspired basketball defensively while also playing similar to what he did in the postseason last year for the Clippers. I think that would have to jump him up in, like, as far as his legacy. That'd have to jump him up in higher praises than it is.
My laughing was funny though. He said,
"No, I sneezed."
Oh, you sneezed. Oh, okay.
No, I'm looking at a couple names though in the East so far. I'm looking at Embiid, Butler.
Yeah, I was thinking Butler as well.
Yeah.
If
you think if Butler wins a championship, what does that do for his legacy if he wins the championship? He's already went to the finals twice, and they weren't expected to be there.
Exactly what he's going for. Like, if he wins a chip, that's coming from the underdog. Remember, they're always a dark horse because of the talent that they have from Jimmy Butler and Bam, and then also having the greatest coach in the league. That's their talent. That's their advantage. It usually is the great coach on the team. Now, you now add that on to him somehow sustaining a excellence to allow them to get to the finals and win it all. That would do so much for his career, because at the end of the day, you can sit down and you can always know later down the line, people will understand that this is one of the weakest teams to reach the finals and win it all. And they're able to beat teams that are much more talented than them. So yeah, that would mean so much for him if he actually end up winning.
What would that?
So I do agree with him.
What would that jump him?
Well,
It would
I
jump
don't
him
know.
a lot. I
It would
think
jump him. I'm
validate-
guessing. Yeah.
It would validate the past runs to people, because some people look at him like kind of fluky. But what would that be if he won the finals this year? That means he made 5 of the last 6 Eastern Conference Finals, or 4 of the last 5, whichever one.
2020, 22, 23, and then if he did it,
All right, so
for the last 5 years.
yeah, so he would made conference finals for the last 5 years. People would look at that differently after you win, and just his finals losses now, it would be like, okay, but he did his part. But when you losing them, people don't look at it like that. That's just how it is. Another one, in my opinion, bro, Steph Curry, dude. If he find a way, bro, like,
He's the greatest point guard of all time, and it's not a discussion. He's the greatest point guard of all time, and it's not a discussion.
people gonna get nasty and say he better than LeBron if he win another one, because he got more rings than LeBron at that point.
True, but it's the way he's been doing it, and this
Wait,
year
say that
alone would
again.
probably it'll be the way he's doing it. Was the reason why they would say something about LeBron. But I will disagree with that comment. Period. But
If he did it
this year would be crazy because his team does not look like anything of a contender whatsoever.
Yeah. Another name is Kevin Durant. Just because this would be his first time winning without the Warriors.
Yeah.
Bro, I would look at him
nasty.
differently personally. Some about his
saying is crazy.
It's between okay. I'm gonna throw another one out there. Giannis Antetokounmpo. They win a championship. I think he enters. I think he enters top.
You broke down.
He all time.
I think you're lagging.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Am I lagging or is he?
It was him.
No, yeah, that was him.
No, I was saying I think if Giannis and the Bucks win the championship this year, Giannis enters top 20 conversations all time.
He's in the 20s right now, so that's why it doesn't really do.
He's 20 right now.
He's in like the late 20s. He's above people like Elgin Baylor for sure. He's above Elgin Baylor, James Harden.
To me,
James Harden.
To me, Giannis is still beating those Pippen allegations right now. He just needs. I think maybe it's because of longevity. I'm looking at Giannis. Giannis has only been doing this for about 7 seasons. 7 seasons. So if he was able to within 7 seasons, he has 2 titles that he was the main contributor on. He has the defensive impact. Offensively, even his down years are still some of the like all-time greats, like borderline best years. I think he ends up in that. He passes Scottie Pippen in those conversations. He passes Harden in those conversations. He ends up like 20.
I think he already is past them. I think if Giannis wins another ring, you start conversating with him and Dirk Nowitzki.
Is Dirk in your 20s?
Nah, Dirk's in the teens.
Really?
Yeah. But if Giannis wins another one, he's conversating with Dirk.
I might have to. You know what? I need to do. I've been meaning to do it. I've been meaning to do like a little bit of more research on Dirk and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
To see I want to see their longevity like how long they were able to sustain their greatness, because I want to figure out how far they are down on my like a top 30 list all time based off of my criteria.
I'll
But
tell you that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is 7th year for Giannis. Dirk's prime started in what? 2002?
That's what I was gonna say. In 2000 and 2001 season, that was his first year averaging 20. He averaged 21.8, and then his last year averaging 20 was 21.7, and that was in 2014.
I feel to me, I feel like his prime, like the cutoff time for Dirk's prime was like 2012. Because I think he became like a worse defender. His offensive impact wasn't felt as nearly as much as it was.
I think I would agree with you. I think I would agree with you. Like a year after the Heat run.
The year after he won the championship, yeah.
I'm cool with that, honestly.
Okay. So yeah, he has about a 10-year prime.
I'll try and be.
Wait, no. You said 2000. You said 2000, right?
Yeah, 12.
So it's 12-year prime. 12-year prime.
Yeah. Giannis already around the longevity. Dirk got it, but I mean, like peak wise, Giannis is a multiple time MVP.
Okay. You take peak into account. Okay.
Yeah, multiple time MVP. At that point, he would have 2 rings.
He would have 2 rings, two rings, 2 MVPs, and a defensive player of the year.
It would be a conversation. It'd have to happen for me to.
I would probably still have Dirk ahead. That's why I say, well, no. If he wins the championship, he's ahead of Dirk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's ahead of Dirk. Yeah, he's ahead of Dirk.
I'd have to. He could, if he wins the championship, KG. I'd have to get into that too.
I don't think. You know what's funny? I think he beat the KG allegations though.
Oh, you think Dirk's better than KG?
Yeah, I think KG.
Huh?
I think Dirk. I think when it comes to Dirk, I think. Oh no! I'm sorry. When it comes to Giannis, I think Giannis, being as good as he is defensively for 7 years, him ultimately having that historic postseason run in 2021 to win the championship. I think that's the 2021 is when, in my opinion, I felt like he passed Kevin Garnett. So then it just ultimately comes down to Dirk. The reason why I take Dirk over KG is the 2011 run. That 2011 run is ultimately like how great he played in the clutch moments is what makes me put him over KG.
It's not crazy. Dirk was the main contributor to a championship team, and KG just never did that. Like
if we're talking career wise on who was better, I think
KG wasn't the main contributor to a championship team.
No, it's not saying he's not the main contributor. We're saying
no. That's what I thought that's what Mar said. That's what
no. He's not saying. No, I don't. Okay, go ahead, Mar. Go ahead.
Oh, second man. He was the second.
All right.
I think he was. I thought. Well, offensively, I think he was the second. He was the second contributor, because I think Paul Pierce was the number one offensively. If we're talking overall, I think it was KG, and it wasn't close. What he did for them defensively, it cannot be understated. But when it comes to Dirk, like I think if we're talking career wise, I think KG and Dirk are like parallel. The way it drifts off is how much you value Dirk's ring or his playoff run. And in my opinion, that 2011 run is where like it like he goes off the rails. Like it's no longer a conversation between the two. Add that to the fact after like a couple years of KG with the ACL injury, he would like you noticed a significant drop off. Even when Dirk dropped off, like as far as like prime Dirk, his game was still like ultimately more suitable than KG's to where he still gave you some years to where he was still viable as an offensive option. KG, when that ACL injury hit, defensively it was a decline, and offensively it was already a decline. It just got worse.
KG on the Nets was a sick time.
It was well. I don't count when it comes to like people like KG, Kobe, Dirk. I try not to count those latter years, because I feel like it was just one of them situations where it's just too hard for you to let go, and I'm not penalizing somebody for not wanting to let go of the game.
Yeah. Like I don't penalize like D Wade for the Cavs run.
Yeah, or the Chicago, or even the Chicago run. I don't blame him for that.
He was kind of nice though. I ain't gonna lie, he was decent in Chicago.
What?
Vince Carter.
I felt like that. Low key, I feel like that was Jimmy and Rondo that carried that.
Vince
Jimmy
Carter.
and Rondo was going.
But D-Wade was cool. Maybe he won't play all the time, so I'm biased. But
I guess.
He was
Vince
cool.
Carter.
I get. Huh?
Vince Carter. Vince Carter.
That fraud. Anyway.
Why you don't? Hey,
That
greatest dunk of all time. Leave my man
crazy.
alone. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That
Greatest dunker of all
fraud,
time.
by the way. That
Vince Carter,
greatest dunker of all time.
Vince Carter's a fraud. Is that a hot take?
Greatest dunker of all time. Stop it.
Blake Griffin would like to enter the chat.
Oh, let him enter the chat, and then we're gonna go look at that dude that got dunked on that's 7 foot tall. That man cleared. That he cleared.
Okay.
That car he jumped over.
The hood. No. Fuck no. Because he jumped over the hood. Fuck no. No, we're not counting that. It's fucking terrible.
Paul Gasol would like to have Blake Griffin nuts out his face. I'm just saying.
He can have that. He can have that all goddamn day. But he jumped over the hood of the car. He didn't jump over center of the car, which is the highest point of the car.
Hey yo, what am I hearing?
You're hearing Rodney wanting to give kudos to Vince Carter, and here I am. Kudos to Vince Carter for being a fraud. All right, guys.
You're so fraudulent. So fucking fraudulent.
He's not a fraud. He's just the most overrated player of all time. He in the conversation, but he's not a fraud though. He's just
he's a fraud. He's a fraud, bro. He's a fraud. Anytime.
Then Blake Griffin's a fraud. Fuck out of here.
Say it again.
Then Blake Griffin's a fraud. Fuck out of here.
He is. Except for 1 year. He wasn't a fraud. Every other year he's a fraud. He's a fraud. They were a fraud to me when it comes to Vince Carter and Blake are two players that are talented players posing as superstars. They were not superstars.
I never viewed them as superstars, though. I guess that's why.
I didn't either, but when you're hearing talks about Vince Carter in the same light as Kobe or Allen Iverson, it's laughable.
That's why I said he's overrated now.
Wait, in the same conversation as who?
He's a
Wait,
fraud.
whoa. The same conversation as who?
He was in the same conversations for like a certain amount of time with Kobe.
No.
While he was playing with Shaq. He was in the conversations with Allen Iverson while Allen Iverson was winning an MVP, leading an incompetent offensive unit. Yes, he was. He was, Rod. He was.
He may have been, but then I don't know whoever did that needs to be shot in the ankle and then left for dead. No,
we don't want to be demonetized, even though women are getting paid from this shit already. But these are the things. These are the reasons that Vince Carter is a fraud. He's a fraud. But great, like tremendous basketball talent though. Like shout out to
for sure. Like that.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving showed us that you can be amazing and a little overrated.
Absolutely. And Kyrie Irving is a fraud as well.
Hey man, don't make him bring him stages. He's gonna bring them stages for you. Stage mode.
Are we packing this up?
No, we're never gonna stop.
Okay, all right. So we got one more segment. We got one more segment we gotta do.
Oh yeah, I got this.
You got this, right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. Shout out to Mar for inspiring this whole segment. I'm glad you're here, Mar. Actually, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, Mar. I'm finna send you something in chat. It's a list of names I want you to call off in honor because you inspired the segment. So I want you to ask Zeno these names, okay?
We appreciate you, Mar. We
appreciate you too. I got this I got it online myself, so.
Oh, nice. Word. Well, shout out to online.
Shout out to online.
I feel
Shout out
like
to the E world.
I feel like I'm getting targeted right now. I'm afraid.
Stop it.
You should be. Because
Stop
this is gonna tell
Been
us
doing
how
this for
valuable.
weeks.
This is gonna tell us how valuable of a player you think Embiid is. All right.
You already know what he gonna say.
Yeah.
I know what he gonna say. The whole world knows what he's going to say.
I hate
But we'll run with it anyway.
Hold on.
Why
wait,
is it me?
Are you sending the names?
I'm sending it through IG.
Oh, perfect.
I got you.
Are y'all ready? Hold
on. We got one more. Let me know when you get it, boy.
Somebody sound tired.
Yeah.
Hey, relax, buddy.
Hey, bro.
Interesting how you're tired. I wonder why you're tired.
Over there putting in work.
What?
What? All right.
I don't know what your
Mark,
mind
you
went
got the
to,
name?
but cool.
What?
You got the name, Mark?
So we're just gonna move on from that, right?
You went there, no one else.
It's Rodney. Stop.
No. That's him. No. Don't put me in that. No, all I said he was working. He went there.
No. You said he's putting in that work.
You made it about that.
Save me from this guy, dog.
You made it about. Don't know. World, do not cancel me.
We're waiting on Mark.
No.
Mark gonna ask you these questions.
No, don't. I didn't bring that up. That was him. He did all that. Don't.
But Mark has to. He has to do the intro like he does on his because he do it better than me.
Somebody got the squeakiest table ever.
Shut
up.
Is Mar, you good? I don't like being put on the full screen for this long, man.
Yeah, not for real. Mar, you there?
Y'all hear me?
Okay.
No, now we hear you. Damn.
Wait, y'all ain't hear me?
Yeah, we can
No.
All right, can y'all hear me still?
Yeah,
yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, I was waiting for y'all. Okay, that was me. All right, Zeno. I'm gonna name you a couple players. You tell me who's the best. Oh my goodness. All right, Zeno. I'm gonna name you a couple players. You tell me who's the better defender, them or Joel Embiid.
Embiid.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis.
Hold on. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis.
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy.
Jaren Jackson.
Triple J.
Bam Adebayo.
Bam.
Evan Mobley.
Mobley.
Miles Turner.
Embiid.
That's not bad. Honestly, I'll even say that you're being a bit nice. I'm
shocked. I'm so shocked, bro.
Yeah, you're shocked because you think I'm gonna because I troll a lot. You think I'm gonna be trolling again?
I thought you're gonna be you. I thought you're gonna be who you are.
No,
I'm you.
I'm gonna be objective.
Am I the only one that feel like there was a couple names I think he's being a little disingenuous towards Embiid about?
Well,
Triple J. There's one name where
Triple J is the only one.
He said it. Yeah, Triple J.
The Triple J is the only one, and I sat there and I thought about it. That's the only one I'd sit there and I think that both. That's the only one I think that's like an arguable conversation. I think the rest were kind of either or. Like I'm not gonna say he's better than Bam. Don't think he's gonna be better than Evan Mobley. Don't think he's better than.
You said Embiid for Miles Turner.
Yeah, instantly.
I thought you were gonna pick Embiid over Triple J, and I to be quite honest with you, that's the one that I was like, I think it's gonna be controversial, but I'll have your back on that one because I think Embiid is a better defensive player.
I think that, but the thing is, I think both of them are like in a similar realm. That's the thing. I'm not really surprised if you say Triple J.
Okay.
I think they're both in a similar realm, and then I think that Evan Mobley, Bam, Rudy Gobert, and what's the other one? Giannis were all better than him, and I'm not going to sit here and defend that. So the only one that I could sit there and comfortably say is Embiid's over is Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
And that's why I instantly said it.
Okay. I guess it's fine. It's fine, especially when you if you say it like that, like it's one of those situations you really don't care. Like if somebody says like Triple J is better than Embiid or Embiid is over Triple J, like you really don't care. I guess okay, that's fair.
Mhm.
I thought this was gonna be a little harder.
I think Embiid is better than Triple J though.
It's not
I really
hard.
thought
It's
this
not
was gonna
hard.
be
It's
harder.
not hard for me because I can actually be objective with my opinions. It's just that you're used to me just sitting here and spamming Embiid propaganda. That's why.
Nice.
Okay, I got one more.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Evan Mobley's.
Okay.
Evan Mobley's,
Everybody can answer.
Evan Mobley's. Yeah. Evan Mobley's co-star, co-front court mate.
Embiid.
Okay.
Wait. I'm feeling really bad right now.
Jared
I
Allen.
don't know what team does Evan Mobley play on? Why do I not?
The Cavs.
I was about to say the Clippers.
Oh my god! Oh my god! My bad.
Okay. One more. I want everybody's answer. Chet Holmgren of Joel Embiid, defensive.
Oh, sheesh. I'm gonna go Embiid though, but Chet is so.
Chet be doing some things though.
Chet is. Oh my goodness, Chet. I got to see it in the playoffs.
Okay. Zeno, you said Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I said Embiid. I think in time that Chet has a higher ceiling just simply because he's more mobile, meaning that he can actually guard in perimeter more, so there's less ways to take him out of the game defensively. I just think Embiid provides more value as a rim protector and a paint presence because he's stronger, so he can be a better one-on-one defender against post-up bigs. Although there's not really much post-up bigs that he goes up against outside of Jokic and Sabonis and like Valanciunas. Is anyone else? Vucevic, I guess, but Vucevic kind of tends to sit on the three-point line against Embiid. So yeah.
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama, but he's not really Wemby's not really a post-up big though.
That's true. Okay.
Oh, you talk about post-up. I think that's gonna be one of the last times we say Embiid's a better defender than Chet though. 20 games into his career.
Yeah, Chet is.
He's pushing his anti-Embiid propaganda so hard right now. That's crazy, dog.
No. It's the regular season. I gotta be cool. I can't talk shit about Embiid in the regular season. I'll look sick.
yeah. That nigga always be.
We wait till the playoffs to do that.
Hey, Mark. So before we go out here, I want to ask you: is LeBron your GOAT?
He's the second GOAT. Jordan's the greatest of all time, but LeBron's right there.
So is it fair to say 1A, 1B?
You get the hell up out of here.
I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying.
Look at all of these Lemite riders. Can't believe it, man.
Nah, I don't do no 1A, 1B.
Hey, see.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like LeBron at this point. Like if I would be inconsistent with my logic if I didn't have my GOAT being like the I guess the logo of like what my criteria is, which is longevity, impact, durability. LeBron is all of those things. And the more he plays, the more it's just even further on display. Like at this point, for me, with my criteria, it would be inconsistent of me to choose anybody but him at this point.
So sometimes you just got to put that anomaly, though. That's why he's the greatest of all time. And he had 13 seasons, right, Jordan?
Yeah. Oh, Jordan?
Yeah.
Let me check.
It was like 13. LeBron is just like, like that's your argument. Like, I don't got nothing to say about it.
Michael Jordan from what would we say was his prime from? Like 86? Nah. I'd say from 87. 87.
I was thinking 7.
Yeah, 87 all the way to 98. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
11 years.
7, 8, 9.
That's
10,
11 years.
11. No. 10 years. Because the 94-95 season doesn't count.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
you're
hurt.
right.
10 years. So
Oh,
he
yeah,
has,
now
He retired. He retired.
yeah, so he has a 10-year prime.
And he has 6 rings.
Yeah, 6 rings in 10
In
years.
10 years. That's impressive.
That's very impressive. The only thing that I like that I'd argue is LeBron from 06 all the way to 2020. I think that's the cutoff, right? Like everybody agrees that's the cutoff point.
LeBron, nah, bro, LeBron's still been that nigga. Like,
No. I'm saying like from 2006 to 2020, there was no cutoff, there was no breaks, there were nothing. It was just a model of consistency, both on the offensive and defensive end. His durability was never questioned. He was always on the court, performed and whatnot for 14 straight years. At an all-time level, by the way, at an all-time level, consistently.
No debate since that time, but I still think he is, bro. He just had that 1 year where he had to grow in his first year with the Lakers.
Yeah. You talking about in 2019?
Yeah. First year when they had BI running the 2 and all that weird stuff.
And even that year, he was playing. With, I think defensively, he had a decline. It was a noticeable decline. But offensively, like I think that was still like in par with his 2008 season.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that went down was his 3-point shooting.
Bro, LeBron was being LeBron. It's just the team around him was a weird fit, and he got hurt.
Yeah, because even with it being a weird fit, I think they were sitting like at the 3rd seed.
Yeah, I remember them being up there. I remember that for sure. And another thing is LeBron. It's so unfortunate. I feel like when I watch them back to the finals, every game LeBron has some co-star hurt. Like it don't matter who, but every time I'm watching back old finals, LeBron got somebody hurt, especially in Cleveland. Cleveland, that shit wasn't even fair. Kevin Love out, Kyrie out. It'll be times Bosh out. It'll be times
D-Wade would be out.
Yeah, D-Wade would be out.
Mike Miller was out, I think, because Mike Miller had a bad back.
To be fair with you, that's just the name. That's the name of the game, and that's the playoffs in general. There's no team going into the finals that are usually 100%. Like the Nuggets being full strength at the finals is like it's a big rarity. Usually teams have someone banged up some type of way. That's usually what happens when you get to the finals. Like remember the Bucks and Suns finals, or the Warriors and Celtics finals. There were people injured, like Celtics. I think wasn't that the finals where Tatum had a torn rotator cuff?
What year?
Against the Warriors.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
it was that was the year he had a torn rotator cuff, and that was like when Steph had to come off the bench because he was coming back from an injury.
Oh yeah.
Like so like usually teams go into the finals injured. That's just the name of the game. So to see a team be 100% healthy is a complete rarity, is what I'm trying to get at.
No, it is. I agree.
No, it is. I agree.
But it's like for someone who's made as many finals as LeBron for the volume he's only had like very select few where star players were healthy. That's what I'm saying.
Agree.
It's unfortunate. It ain't like it's an excuse. Like he's still number 2. Shout out to him, but just be cool if we saw him more healthy.
Yeah. The only thing I don't want to happen is for the people, because I think I saw somewhere somebody was saying something along the lines of him winning this in-season tournament just adds to like a catalog of achievements that he has that Michael Jordan could never achieve, and so that's why he deserves, because he's paving the way for future stars. And like I don't want people to do that. Like this in-season tournament has little to do with his legacy, because he's not fighting with the top stars of today. He's fighting with niggas in history. So at this point, like this in-season tournament shit, this is like all fun and games for him. But like the only thing we gauge him on is his ability to maintain health and high impact for a multitude of years. And ultimately winning a championship. Those are the only things we care about. Everything else, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it has little to do with the conversation of him being a GOAT. But I will say this: the more games I see, the further Kareem's case for even being like in a GOAT conversation is like even appearing to be there. Like I'm starting to get to the point. I don't think Kareem has a case at all to win an MVP, to be anybody's GOAT. Like if longevity is what you care about, LeBron's like his longevity is better than Kareem's while playing at a higher level.
Kareem's one of those guys that when I watch him, I'm like, he's cool though. I really like Kareem.
He's cool though. It's crazy.
No, for real.
No,
Hey.
he is. Like,
He's cool. No,
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
He's my third greatest player of all time, but I just don't watch that much of him. And when I do, I'm like, okay.
You know, he used to be mine until I started looking into that bad man Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Talking about Giannis?
Nah, Tim Duncan.
Oh! You said bad man Tim Duncan. Oh my God.
Yeah, he used to be until I started looking into that bad man Tim Duncan. Like now, to be honest with you, my top 5 has changed the more like I've been talking to like the guys in like the Discord and stuff. Like I'm starting to think like my list is LeBron, Jordan, Tim Duncan, Kareem, Bill Russell.
That's like I like that. Well, what's yours, Zeno?
I don't think Zeno doesn't have a list. Zeno doesn't like doing like top 5.
No, I'll be real with you. I'm gonna have to sit back and like during when I have a lot of time to go watch all of these players again, so I can actually revise my list.
Yeah,
my favorite.
My favorite watch is Jerry West. Like he's the greatest player of all time to me. I don't care.
You know what? I'm not. You know what's funny? I'm not even mad at that because I don't know how I got upon it, but ever since I started looking into like 70s basketball, because I hate when people be using it. Oh, you too young to know what this is or what that is. So I went back to 70s basketball so that I could know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, that nigga Dr. J, he's nice. He's nice. He doesn't person.
That's why when we was talking, I've been watching so much Jerry West. That's why I just said Giannis is better than Elgin Baylor, like off rip. Because when I'm watching Jerry West and his teammate Mr. Elgin Baylor, I don't see him. Like I'm watching, but I don't see him, bro. Like,
I mean, shit. There's a reason why he a loser. I think he's a historical loser, man.
And bro, literally the year he retired, Jerry West wins his ring. Like
They win.
Fuck, man.
Like,
and
man,
I can see why,
bro. But anyway, we'll continue the Lakers slander on another day. But who's this podcast finna sign out? Zeno, do you have anything left to say?
Thank you all for coming through to episode 6 of our Hoopster podcast show. Thank you, Rod, Justin, and Mars.
Nigga, why do you say my government?
And Desto. Desto came through. Appreciate you for coming through, Desto.
Yeah,
and
real quick.
Thank you all for
shout out to chat. Shout out to chat, Zeno.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that. And shout out to the Sage, what's called J-Rob, even El Rod was talking, Sports PSB, Khalil, Desto again. Thank you all for coming through and have a good evening, guys, man. Stay safe.
Rod, you got anything?
Peace.
Rod, you got anything?
Yeah.